66. But how did he get here? Well, from the sleepy town of Krumbach via some giants of European football, here's his journey to Wembley. Sitting around 60 miles west of Munich, Krumbach's population is less than 14,000 people. But Tuchel's friends there remember a boy whose ambitions lay far beyond the Bavarian community. His will to win was evident early. Tuchel often captained his youth football teams, and his school side lifted the national German football trophy in 1987. The Sport took the young defender on a whistle-stop tour of South Germany, from Augsburg to Stuttgart and then Ulm. A knee injury ended his playing career at the age of 25, though. Tuchel accepted his first coaching role in the Stuttgart youth setup in 2000, hired by none other than Ralf Rangnick. Under Tuchel's stewardship, the club's under-19s won their league title in 2005. But Stuttgart chose not to renew his contract, feeling Tuchel had an abrasive personality. He went on to manage Augsburg's second team before spending 5 years at the helm at Mainz. He then followed in Jurgen Klopp's footsteps and moved from Mainz to Dortmund. Here, Tuchel secured his first major silverware, the German Cup, in 2017. 8 more major trophies came next for Tuchel in just 5 glorious seasons. He won 2 Ligue 1 titles and a pair of domestic cups as PSG boss. At Chelsea, he famously lifted the Champions League, as well as a Super Cup and a Club World Cup, and he also bagged a Bundesliga at Bayern Munich. And then, 4 months after leaving Bayern, Tuchel was unveiled as England's new manager.
I always wanted to come back to England. That was my big goal. I have the best memories of the country, of the league and of the players, the attitude towards the game, the attitude from the supporters.
Well, here's hoping Tuchel can finally drag England over the line at a major tournament.
And there it is again.
Yeah, we've had this message from Dan, right? Charlie says they better play the right music to start the show, not the musical equivalent of Cass's reaction to the How Tall Are They final.
He was not bothered.
No.
He was not bothered.
On this day, of all days, on the final of How Tall Are They, and somebody, somewhere, decides that this is the music that we start the show with.
A 2-year competition. Dragged.
It's felt like, and it has felt like 5 years, and even still, they are serving this
up. Is this a plug and play pitch? Is this what England can expect tonight?
The listeners deserve better than this. The listeners deserve better than this. They are served up every Saturday morning.
Record numbers listening to this.
They are. You sometimes have to question the intelligence of the British people. And when you find out that more and more are listening to this...
More and more, for longer.
One of those moments. Honestly. To say I'm disappointed is an understatement.
I am disappointed.
Yeah, I'm disappointed.
There we are. We can't start the show. That's it. Just won't start the show. That's it. We'll walk. We're walking.
We'll walk. No, hello. Oh,
I'm back.
Suddenly someone knows it's the final of How Tall Are They? Suddenly we've ripped up our resignations. We're happy to deliver again for the good people of the United Kingdom and the rest of the world, listening to the warm-up on talkSPORT. We dance, and I'm just in a shed, so it's frankly ridiculous. Here we go. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the world's biggest sports radio station. It's talkSPORT. My name's Max Rushden. Alongside me, Charlie Baker. Charlie, this is just any warm-up.
This is the double award-winning, award-retired warm-up Max on Saturday, the 6th of June, 2026. And at 13:30, it's the Epsom races on talkSPORT. Commentary from Rupert Bell and Lizzie Kelly, the Obi producer. It's Dan Kane. I'm gonna live forever. I'm gonna learn how to fly high. Remember. Go get it. And then at 15:15, it's the Gallagher Premiership final day of the season. It's the Exeter Chiefs versus the Saracens on talkSPORT 2. It's Andrew McKenna and Topsy Ojo, the Obi producer. It's Andrew McKenna. Andrew McKenna. Hey, at 21. Go get it. At 21 o'clock, it's England versus New Zealand. It's an international friendly at Tampa. It's on talkSPORT, presented by Forget It. Forget about it. The best in the business. Yeah, what you got? I got better. It's Adrian Durham, commentary from Big Jim, Torquay United Proudfoot, and former England captain Stewart, Psycho, Pierce, the Obi producer. It's Declan McCarthy.
500 miles an hour would walk 500 more. The speed of man walked 1,000 miles to fall down at Shoot.
Go get it! It's Big Ticket, live, racing, Gallagher Prem, and international friendly action you can't afford to miss.
Do you know what? We were an Adam Bridge away, I think.
Oh, it was nearly perfect, wasn't it?
I don't think I mean, maybe it is important, Charlie, that some of the listeners enjoy it. But when you and I, 10,000 miles apart, are singing Dan Kane...
It's my favourite bit.
I just feel so
when
alive.
we're doing the quiet, remember.
Yeah.
That's the bit I like. I think I'd like Dan Kane into the A-team.
Yeah.
Into,
bit of green sleeves.
Into My Old Man's a Dustman, into green sleeves, into Bridge Over Troubled Water. That would be my 5.
Maybe they should ask us to fix the OB producers for the season next season. Why is he? That is no. Honestly, he lives miles away. We don't need. She doesn't need to do. Obviously, the Mintomaniacs. What are you even thinking?
The song though.
Yeah, that's more important, isn't it?
Very
really?
much so.
Because what's interesting is I don't believe on Game Day Live, or when they're doing the show they're actually OB producing, I don't think they play their music.
No, they don't play. They don't play it in. They don't. When they arrive at their seat and plug all the box in and everything, that music doesn't turn up. They only get the music on here.
Yeah. John at Deb's Ironing Shop's been a long wait coming. It's finally here, the final. We're broadcasting it live in the shop. How tall are they? How tall will the finalists feel walking out to compete? It's a very good question. This text says, this is a plug and play show and I'm really going to have to manage my minutes listening to this. Morning, guys. Says Tony. Both sets of intro music are great. Don't mess with what isn't broken. Well,
Okay.
I suppose so.
The only Paul's been in touch. The only show on radio where the hosts have a lot more fun than the audience. But he does offer some respect as well. So there we are. Thank you very much, Paul. Might be true. Might be true.
It might be true. But maybe we carry some people with us.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
But
think
it's
so.
a final of How Tall Are They? I mean, that is great, isn't it?
After the third and fourth place playoff, of course, went through its required
8 legs.
7 weeks, 8 weeks.
It was required 8 legs, of course.
Congratulations to Perry Groves for winning that. I mean, very, very good.
Yeah,
And
for coming
we
third.
will, of course, hear from Nigel Adley in the final today. Love to Nigel. Love to Nigel, as always. And the judge. The judge. The judge is
comes the
really
judge.
basically the only reason we do the whole competition. Because we said, how do we play the judge's music every week? We like it so much.
Yeah.
So we can,
Tom says I missed the Gary Ginger song.
That's true, yeah.
Do you have to, Gary Ginger?
Well, Gary Ginger
That's a very
isn't.
good point,
Unfortunately, Gary Ginger isn't an OB producer, and if he did, I don't know what he'd be producing outside. I feel like Gary Ginger would be
Different kind
producing
of
something in a car park somewhere in the middle of the night. With
It's one of those 10-minute ones, you know. I think it might be.
It might be one of those, or in the back of a taxi. I've seen that one.
Hey, what do we want to talk to people about? Oh, yeah.
Oh, the ladders.
You've got
How did
some
we
big
get onto
news after-
ladders? How did we get onto ladders?
You've turned 50 and the doctor
Yes.
told you not to go up a
No,
ladder.
the doctor. I read it. I read a doctor offering up the advice: if you're over 50, don't go on a ladder,
Right.
because so many accidents happen to people on ladders over the age of 50 that they say
That's
just
interesting, isn't
just get someone in, basically. Get someone in to go up the ladder for you.
Did you feel
No,
as you turned 50 just a bit less stable?
It feels-
a bit like a ladder.
it
You look at a
feels-
ladder and you think fear.
Thing is, Max, what I have got about me is a low centre of gravity,
Oh, that's
and
true.
I am wide, so I
That's
am
true.
like very good stability. You couldn't knock me over. You could not knock me over. I could definitely fall off a ladder, though.
Right. What speed of wind would have to knock you over?
it'd
Because
be
I'm
very, very, very strong.
well, because young Ian is getting into the solar system.
Oh, is he?
The,
That's nice.
the-
What's his
the wind
favourite
on
planet?
Neptune.
Has he got a favourite planet?
Loves Pluto. Sometimes
yeah.
it's inconsolable that it's
Yeah.
been relegated to dwarf planet.
Does he know
You
a
know,
bit-
you know
does
when
he
they cut
know,
to fans. You know when they cut
Oh,
to
yeah.
fans crying when a
Yeah,
team's
yeah,
been
yeah,
relegated. When Pluto was downgraded, you could just see it cut to the crowd and he had his Pluto scarf on. It's absolutely weeping. But he was telling me the wind on Neptune is over 2,000 kilometers an hour.
Is
I
it?
was saying if you're playing golf, you'd have to go up. You have to go
Especially,
up.
yeah, unless it was a
normally
downhill. Unless it was a
7-iron,
downhill tee. You know, there we are.
Yeah,
Does he now
absolutely
know how big Uranus is, Max?
He does, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Of course.
Good
And who
news.
doesn't?
How big's Uranus? 8, 10, 89.
Oh, come on, Charlie.
What? We're discussing the planets. Come on. You're allowed to ask your teacher that as well. If any young people are listening, you're
What, in
allowed
any
to say,
lesson? In
Miss.
any lesson.
Any
In
lesson.
any lesson.
Miss, how big's Uranus? You're allowed to ask that.
So your question was,
Ladder
are you
stories.
up a ladder?
Yeah, are you up a
Are
ladder?
you up a ladder? Anyone up a ladder? Text us now.
Our
But
producer
only
Maya.
safely.
Our producer Maya says she's never been on a ladder, which I can't believe
27
that's
years
true.
old. 27 years old, never been up.
Do you
a
know what
ladder.
we could do today?
Tell me.
We could get a ladder in here, and Maya could have her first go up a ladder live on the radio.
I mean, they say the idea is to come up with new ideas for the show, and I think because we don't often get put on the Instagram, do we? It's normally two people
Do you
shouting.
think Maya
about
up a
something.
ladder would?
But do you think we've sent a 27-year-old up a ladder for the first time? Do you think that would get us?
She's
on
climbing
Instagram?
the ladder.
Yeah, she's up the ladder.
Literally.
She's down the ladder. Well done. Look, let's give it a go. Anyway, it is Max and Charlie with you until 1 this afternoon. George Ellick from the England pod will join us in just a second, and we'll talk about England v New Zealand in Tampa, which is live on talkSPORT tonight.
Let's talk about the World Cup then in a bit more detail. England, of course, touched down in America ahead of the competition. Let me get your views on the squad. Lots of players that a lot of people should have been in it weren't. Cole Palmer, Phil Foden, Gibbs White, Adam Wharton, Trent, of course, Harry Maguire being another one. What have you made of the squad and the players that aren't going?
All of them players are the real technicians, Adam Wharton, Foden, Cole Palmer, Trent. And Trent. So my opinion personally is the majority of them players should have gone, because I think that holding the ball in a World Cup is the most crucial thing, and being that team. But Thomas has gone the other way. Thomas, you can see he's picked by the team he's picked. It's going to be a sort of low to mid block, and he's going to look for counter-attacking football, right? So personally, I would have done it differently, but I like the fact that he's picked the type of players for his style of football that he thinks going to do it. And like, we're still a week gone from the squad, and we're still talking about the players not there. I'm almost like, listen, nobody would have picked now 26 players that Thomas would have picked. So we'd all have a disagreement somewhere. It's done now. That it's history. Like, this is the way we're going, and I like the fact he's strong enough to go, I want these players, and these are the players that are going to do it for me.
It's a crazy one, because for me, that I understand what you're saying.
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
All the warm-up on talkSPORT, Max and Charlie with till 1. This text says, I love the conversation. Wonderfully puerile, lads. Make Zippy from Rainbow sound like Wittgenstein. But interestingly, Zippy also mainly worked in logic, philosophy of mathematics and philosophy of mind and language.
Oh, I
love
the philosophy of mathematics, Jeffrey.
Oh, no, Jeffrey. Oh, no, I don't like the mathematics.
George was a Nietzsche guy.
Yeah, more into it.
And Rod, Jane and Freddie, they wouldn't have a bar any of it. Stan from Bath, I'm 71 years old, been a window cleaner for 50 years, still climbing ladders. Stu from Altrincham, not the only one to text this, or variants thereof.
Okay.
Max, Charlie, I was up a ladder when you asked for people to text in. I'm now in an ambulance on my way to A&E.
Yeah, do be careful if you are texting from a ladder,
Yeah, and I thought this is from Robin Leeds, who says 31,763 miles, roughly 4 times wider than Earth. You could fit about 63 Earths inside it. I would have that looked at.
I'm assuming they're talking about Uranus. Yeah.
I would have that looked at, Rob, if I were you. But keep your text coming, please. 1889.
Rod, Jane, and Freddie, Max. You know, she was married to. They were married to
both of them.
Two of them were married, and then she left one for the other one.
No way.
Yeah, I think that's true. I'm saying that out loud. Can someone check that? VAR check on that.
Can we fact check that? Chris says, when I got to 50, it felt like the engine warning light came on. Best way I can describe it. Very good.
Hey, I heard a good thing about. So I know we've got to talk about. We can bring football. Bring George Ellick in if you like, but I read a good thing, which was until you're 30, you use your body like you're renting it, and then when you hit 30, you go, oh, I actually own this.
George Ellick from the England pod. How old are you, George?
Hello, George.
35.
Oh,
so yeah.
The peak.
Rented it for a bit. For just starting to get that kind of back pain every morning when I wake up for absolutely no reason, despite doing no exercise whatsoever. So feeling it.
Yeah, you look good though,
Good.
George. So don't worry.
Thank you.
You
Probably-
look, handsome guy.
No, he does. I think he's looking. He doesn't look a day over 32, if you ask me.
I agree.
I'm getting
prime.
worried about my bald. I'm getting worried about my bald spot. We talked about
We
this.
talked
on-
about this. Yeah.
on
I don't think you need to be worried about
just
it, man.
dress as a friar and just become a friar. Anyway, George, you don't need this. You want to talk about the pitch in Tampa. Let's hear what Thomas Tuchel had to say about this plug and play pitch in Tampa.
I'm sure you've seen the photographs of the pitch in Tampa, and are there any concerns for you on that?
Yeah, hopefully not yet, but you make me all concerned because you ask me all the question about the pitch, and now I am concerned. I wasn't before the press conference. People tell me, and our greenkeeper, I think, went there, and they tell me it will be okay, and it should be okay, and let's hope it's okay. If we find out tomorrow it is not okay, then again, we will adapt. We will adapt and maybe change some decisions, but at the moment we plan to play 2 full teams of 45 minutes.
Keep Harry,
George, this feels
keep
so-
Harry Kane off that pitch. Do not have Harry Kane turn his ankle on that
It
pitch.
feels, George, so World Cup warm-up match this. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I've heard this before every World Cup, something about some dodgy pitch that we don't need. We don't want anyone to play on and someone will hurt their foot.
Have you seen the picture? Because it's alarming. I mean, it looks like basically just random strips of grass that have been just laid on top of some concrete, and that's where it expects to go and play. I also really like the fact that England take a greenkeeper out to a World Cup with them to go and inspect the pitches. But it's
God, it looks terrible. I should have done some research. It does look.
Yeah.
You're right. It looks like someone's just laid
It feels-
20 bits of turf down.
You know, it's a 9 o'clock kickoff tonight, and for those of us who are sick enough to stay up and watch it, it's just going to be an exercise of just praying that no one gets injured. I think that the result probably doesn't matter too much. We've already seen in the last week or so France being beaten by Ivory Coast, Spain drew with Iraq. Like it feels like these games that coming into the World Cup. I'm sure if England do lose to New Zealand tonight, then there'll be the normal furore. But if we win, it'll be seen as kind of what we'd expect to happen. So it's just going to be a case of trying not to see any injuries. The Arsenal players still aren't with the camp after the Champions League final, which means that we don't have any right wingers, with Madueke and Saka both away. So it'll be interesting to see what Tuchel does there. There's also the players who are currently training with England, Alex Scott and Josh King amongst those, and there's a chance that they could feature. So it all feels very, very kind of pre-major tournament friendly rather than anything to get too excited about.
Yeah, whose fault is it that the pitch is rubbish? Is that bad planning already? Are we going in on them for the planning? But also, I really hope that if we do lose or get a draw tonight, Spain drew with Iraq the other night, France lost to the Ivory Coast. It's like, this is just getting it in the legs. Can everyone relax?
Definitely. I mean, I'm sure if we lose tonight or if Harry Kane turns his ankle, then it'll be Thomas Tuchel's fault, even though obviously it absolutely shouldn't be. But that's just the way that it works. I don't know whose fault it is. Frankly, a lot of the organisation around the World Cup has felt, not from England's perspective, but generally the pitches and everything else and the transport. It's a 65,000 seat stadium tonight, but because for a friendly World Cup friendly, the prices were set so high. I think about 15 people are going to be there watching. So. The whole thing's a bit of a farce. I do like the fact that England, compared to the countries you just mentioned, who are still playing friendlies on home turf, I like that we've gone out early. I like that we've gone out to Florida, where the climate is already going to be incredibly humid, and therefore hopefully it means that we can acclimatise a bit quicker than others. And the fact that we're in the last group of the whole World Cup, and therefore we've got still 11 days to go until our first game, it should give us the opportunity. Everyone's very concerned about England and heat, and I did a glamorous live show with Emil Heskey last night in Reading, where he was talking about how, from his experience in 2002 with the heat and the humidity, how it's a completely different sport, especially against certain opposition like Brazil. But hopefully getting out there early, playing late, should give us a better chance to acclimatise, unlike some of these countries that are flying out much closer to kickoff.
Do you think it'll be England's first 11 in the first half and then the B team in the second half?
I doubt it. Again, because there are players who are going to be missing. Declan Rice is another one who won't be playing because he's not with the squad yet. I think there'll probably be combinations that he'll want to see. So, if it's Nico O'Reilly, who expect to be our starting left back, whoever starts ahead of him will probably be the one that, between Rashford and Gordon, that Tuchel sees being our first choice left back. Similarly, I'd probably expect it to be Mainu playing alongside either Anderson or Henderson, because it feels like Mainu is the replacement for Rice, whereas Henderson is the understudy for Anderson. A big part of Tuchel's squad selection, as we discussed last week, is around certain roles and profiles for certain positions, and I think that'll be reflected in the team this evening. But again, it also wouldn't be a massive surprise if we saw Alex Scott start tonight, and he's not even going to be part of the squad when the tournament starts.
This text says, I noticed people watching on YouTube. I noticed George has a lamp directly behind his door. That must be annoying. Has he thought of moving to this field in Belfast?
So every time you come in, God.
There's another door the other side of it. So
someone's doing all right. 2 doors.
That door is I've got 2 doors. I've got 2 doors in my house.
Yeah, George.
I've got to say,
2-door Elec. All right, so it's a non-opening
that's off
door.
It's a non-opening door.
That's off the Emil Heskey and Reading money. Whoa.
Correct. That's it. We moved overnight.
Just a fashion door. Wow.
But then I'm going out to America, so I'm going to have to remortgage my house anyway because, as you know, it's incredibly expensive.
Yeah, totally. Well, thanks for coming on, George. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Cheers, guys.
Good man. The England pod is George Elec, Ali Maxwell, and Dave Walker, formerly of talkSPORT, and it is very good. And it's sort of non-yelling at cloud. England is fun. It's the idea is supporting England can be fun.
Come on. And more importantly, Max, Jane was married to Rod before they divorced in 1979, and she later married Freddie in 2016. So there we are. Quite a big gap between.
Wow, that's a big gap, isn't it?
Gap between the two, but.
Is Charlie confusing Rod, Jane and Freddie with ABBA? And many people have done that before.
Yeah.
I think Charlie's Rod, Jane and Freddie mixed up with Fleetwood Mac, says Joe. Easy mistake to make.
Together, the rumours out. It's all about that, yeah.
There we go. I listen to talkSPORT all week. This is the point I switch off.
Okay.
This is Ray in Rochester.
Oh, yeah. Hello, Ray.
Hi, Ray.
Good morning, Ray.
Hello, Ray.
He's not listening because
Nice
he's
to have you
switched
on
off.
board, Ray. I listen to talkSPORT all week. He says, this is the point I switch off. This has to be the worst show on the radio, all of radio. This is like 2 children pretending to be radio presenters.
I'd listen to that.
Awful.
I would listen to 2 children pretending to be radio presenters. That'd
Ray,
be good.
that is Ray in Rochester.
Let's go over to Oscar now for the travel.
I would like to dedicate the rest of the show to Ray.
Ray in Rochester. Good morning, Ray. I know you're not listening anymore, but look, not everything's for everyone. That's what we always say, Ray. And there are plenty of other things you can listen to. If you want to, Ray, you'll find other things elsewhere.
Yeah, other hobbies. You can have other hobbies. And actually, if you are listening to talkSPORT, let's be real. If this is the only 3 hours you don't listen to, presuming you don't listen to me on a Sunday either, it's 5 hours in your week.
Sure.
You should probably get some sleep.
Yeah.
Probably get some exercise. Yeah. There's some other things you could do, Ray, aren't there?
But good luck,
thanks
Ray.
For letting us know.
Good luck with your life. Thanks for texting in on
50p a text.
50p.
Ray plus your standard network rate. You can WhatsApp us if you want. 03717 223344. Susie McCabe, Celtic fan and Scotland fan, will join us in just a second.
He's the sort of player, Andy, that you can't really look at age because he could play at this level for another 4 or 5 years at least.
Do you think that long?
Yeah, I do.
31. You think he could be playing?
Doesn't rely on his pace.
No, he doesn't. But it's very rare you get great players. Can even look at Mo Salah, right? Last season before last was. Yeah, I did look at Salah and thought his pace had gone. His just whole game went.
I think when I watched him, he didn't look as quick. But I feel like Bruno Fernandes. Do you know what I mean? You'll find a position for him, even if his legs do go a little bit. He's just that talented. His passing range, mate. Do you know what I mean? Set pieces.
Reported it has a £57 million release clause for European clubs. That means he can't throw him, say go to Man City. Should the likes of Real Madrid be all over that? Is that a bargain?
I would. If I'm Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, any club, maybe not PSG, that they've got a very good midfield. But if I'm Manchester United, I'm saying not a chance. 60 million, 70 million, I'll say no. I feel like he's that good to what Manchester United have done in the last season we just had. And going forward, who are you going to buy to replace him?
Yeah. Well, my view earlier on was get the 57, put 43 to it, and go out and get Elliot Anderson. And then you're starting again because he's a young kid.
Of course, yeah. But Elliot Anderson, Bruno Fernandes, 2 different players.
Yeah, no, I know that.
Do you know what I mean? You need to get Elliot Anderson as well as keeping Bruno Fernandes. And how much money will it cost you if you sold Bruno Fernandes? You might get 57 million, but maybe you miss out on Champions League next season.
Point. Yeah. So this was just to remind you. This was Bruno's quote last November. He said, "From the club's."
Get ready to get the ultimate football fan winning feeling with talkSPORT Win.
Yeah, the World Cup kicks off next Thursday. talkSPORT is sending you and a mate straight to New York to see England live with Adidas, the tournament's official match ball sponsor. We are supplier, I should say. We're talking a trip to watch England face Panama, return flights, hotel, match tickets, spending money, all taken care of. Plus, Adidas is throwing in the official Tri-Onda match ball and a fresh pair of boots. Ready to get that winning feeling? Here's Charlie Baker to tell you how to enter.
For your chance to win, head to talksportwin.com or text WIN to 83338. Text and online entries cost £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or you can call 0343 418 7260. Entries must be in by 4 p.m. on June the 12th. And that's when you need to answer your phone if it rings. 18 plus, UK residents only. This is a TalkSPORT promotion. Full T's and C's at talksportwin.com. For your chance to win, text WIN to 83338 now.
Thank you, Charlie. Yeah, good luck, everybody.
Good luck.
Let's do some Scotland. They
Yes,
play Bolivia
please.
tonight. Susie McCabe is a comedian and a Scotland fan. Hey, Susie.
Hey, Suze.
Hey, how you doing, boys? What's happening?
Oh, really well, thank you,
good.
Susie. Yeah,
Do you know what, Susie? Someone, I was doing the World Cup previews for the Football Weekly podcast, and someone sort of said, actually, Brazil's midfield isn't is like not the strongest bit. And actually Scotland's midfield, I think this might have been before the Billy Gilmore injury, but even still we're saying Scotland midfield's quite strong. They could beat Brazil. What I'm saying is you're going to beat Brazil, Susie.
Yeah, but we'll beat Brazil after losing the first 2 games. That's
of course.
It's the Scotland way, guys.
I forgot we're talking about Scotland. Yeah, Susie, that's how it goes. You're doing some shows, aren't you, Susie, at the Stand? Brilliant Stand.
I am.
In Glasgow, where people come and watch you do some comedy first, and then you're going to watch the games through the middle of the night. It sounds a brilliant night out.
Listen, it's going to be great. So the new Stand in Glasgow, which is round the corner from the old Stand, beautiful big room. And you know what it's like now, Charlie, comedy clubs have got the screens and stuff like that. So, yeah, we're going to show the game. So it's me and my very good friend, fellow Scotland and Celtic fan, Scott Agnew, and we are going to be doing a bit, talking about the game. We've got some stuff up our sleeve to have a bit of fun with the audience. We'll be roving reporting around the venue, so we don't need to walk very far. And we're just really much... Do you know... you know this, that the greatest thing about stand-up comedy is that no gig can ever be repeated, right? Because the variables often change. And I think
the people in the room and the vibe and all those things, yeah, sure.
all of that. So I think we're obviously conscious we're in a comedy club, but we're not doing stand-up. We're just two mates watching the game with a bunch of strangers, and by the end of it, we'll all be mates. Brilliant. That's the plan.
Great night out.
And I just think we will have a great time. And also, it's a really special thing for Scotland and to watch the World Cup. And for some people, that'll be their first ever World Cup. So to me, my real first World Cup as an adult was 1998. And my first World Cup as a kid was probably Italia 90. So to be in that room and to create that atmosphere and to make those memories and just to have the fun, I think it's going to be brilliant. And you know, a Glasgow audience, Charlie, tremendous.
Do you know what? I went to England-Scotland in Euro 96, and I remember at half-time, they were playing Rocking All Over the World, Status Quo, and every single member of the Tartan Army was dancing, like just like it was sort of feral, wild joy. And all the England fans, so many of us were just sort of standing there going, why can't we be like that? What is it about us that we can't let ourselves go? We just can't do it. And so that is something, the Tartan Army, who will be out in force in the States despite the cost, because obviously there's a massive Scottish diaspora in the States anyway. But that vibe will be there where you are, sort of regardless of the result, won't it?
I was very fortunate to go to the Euros as part of my work, and I was the roving reporter who travelled round to the 3 cities interviewing the Tartan Army, and I was in the press box for the first game against Germany, right? We're in the Allianz Arena, and there's maybe, 5,000 or 6,000 Scotland fans. Let's say there was 10,000 who pre-game were out singing the Germans.
Of course.
And it then got to the end of the tournament, and by the end of the tournament, when I think it was Stuttgart we were in, the Germans who weren't playing in Stuttgart, they were just out drinking with the Scotland fans singing "No Scotland, No Party," and it was one of the best experiences of my life. And do you know, it's that camaraderie and the fun to go and look. You always go, we're football fans, right? So we walk into the stadium fully believing that we'll get something by the time kickoff comes, right? But it's also the experience of that and mixing with other cultures and experiencing other football fans and making friends that you'll never see again, but you're making friends with people from other countries all through the love of the game. What a beautiful thing that is.
Beautiful. Absolutely brilliant.
Barca Jim's been in touch, our friend Jim Burke, who you may know, Susie. He says she's been too bleeping positive about Scotland.
I think it's tough for you not to get out of the group. I think the way the competition is set up, especially, I think you'll get out of the group at least. I think you've got some really, really good players. I'm very positive.
Tough group. Got to have a positive goal difference, and you got to play Brazil and Morocco. I know it's tough, Susie. I think, but you never know.
Tough. But let me just say, if Scotland goes out the group, the GDP of the United Kingdom. Keir Starmer thinks we've got a terrible economy just now. If Scotland get to the quarterfinals, Scotland will just be, that's it. No, we'll be back at work.
It'll take off.
Tournament's
It'll
finished.
take off. It'll split and just take off and fly away, won't it? Hey, thanks for coming on, Susie. Good luck with all your shows.
Take it easy, guys.
Thank you so much.
Susie McCabe there. Yeah, we'll keep you posted on Scotland, Bolivia tonight, of course, on talkSPORT after commentary of England versus New Zealand. And now, after the break, it is the final of How Tall Are They? As Nigel Love to Nigel Adderley takes on Graham the Judge Courtney. And it's
guilty.
Live.
To be considered a big club, like the likes of Man City, Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea.
What, Man City's bigger than Arsenal?
Well, in Europe they are. They've won the competition.
Cool, they won the... But what are we saying? Are we talking about trophies or are we talking about...
I'm talking about dining at the top table with all the big heads that have won it. Do you think you need...
What, so we're only basing this on Europe? So if you win the European Cup, that means you're a big club?
In Europe.
Well, are we not going off all the trophies that we've won?
We haven't won that many.
We've won Arsenal? Are you joking?
Well, okay, take FA Cups out of it.
No, forget FA Cups. Leagues.
You can include it.
We've won more Premier Leagues than Liverpool.
I know, but I'm just saying, my question is, do you think you need to win Europe's biggest competition to be considered a big club?
No, because I think we are one of the biggest clubs in the world.
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
Hello. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who...
And to think all those years ago, what began with just a random conversation with Lars Sivertson when we got onto how tall certain West Ham players are, somehow it turned into the greatest competition on radio since Autobiography Wars. And we remember that stunning victory uncontroversial victory for Paul Merson, where Paul Merson was also the referee, and he won 3-0. And it follows.
Which some people called a damp squib. They did call it a damp squib, the final. But that's what finals are sometimes, Max.
But sometimes they're not the greatest game because the pressure on these players is huge. But as you know, we just want to get on with the game. The last thing we would do is make an incredibly long montage to build up to the final of How Tall Are They?
Jeff Peters here. I'm 6'2", and this is the most exciting thing to be part of. It's like the World Cup, the Euros, Wimbledon, the US Masters Golf, Ryder Cup, all rolled into one.
Barry Glendenning here from the talkSPORT warm-up. I stand 6'2" in my bare feet. In this year's competition, I suffered the humiliation of being knocked out by a listener, and I don't think I'll ever get over the shame.
This is Lucy Ward, and I'm currently on the beach. I'm 5'10". I'm not choosing between Graham and Nigel, up to Nigel, because I've worked with both of them and love them both exactly the same. But good luck both. This competition has changed my life.
Marcy Woodson here. As much as I'm still bitter about being knocked out by Kweku, I do wish Graham Courtney and Nigel Adderley all the best. May the best guesser of heights win.
It's Jeff Stelling here. Now, I stand 5'7" and 1/4 inches tall. When you're my height, those 1/4 inches count, believe you me. When you are my height, people can be a bit condescending, look down on you, in fact. And when they do, I just give them a 2-word answer. Economy flights. Then when those 6-footers have got their knees up by their ears, I can stretch my little legs out to their full length.
I just can feel the pressure building.
Still going.
Quaker Barry here. What can I say? The final of How Tall Are They? And it's the final that the fans wanted to see. Two of the voices of the station. Graham Courtney versus Nigel Adderley. I know firsthand how tough an opponent Nigel is. But Graham's no mug. This is going to be an epic battle. And honestly, it's changed my life. I can't walk down the street. Everyone's like, is that Quaker from HTHT? I mean, that's the kind of credit you get. That's the kind of kudos that comes with being involved in a competition with this much prestige.
Terry Groves here. I can't tell you how excited I am for the final today of Graham. Here come the judge, Courtney, and Nigel. Why don't you come on over, Adderley? I can't believe how far-reaching HTAT is. I'm just down in Brixham. Obviously, Charlie know where I am. And I've just had someone shout out, "Oi, Grovesy, 6'3", and a little wink.
Can't believe it. Another season. Honestly, I could get emotional at the thought. God bless, guys. Good luck.
Sam Massiface here. I couldn't be more excited about the How Tall Are They final between Graham Courtney and Nigel Adderley. To be honest with you, I know the World Cup is massive, but there's not many matchups bigger than this, or smaller, depending on what the outcome is. As someone who is maybe just a little bit littler than they would like to be, hearing just how tall everybody else is one of the highlights of my weekend.
Fabulous. Well
Good
done.
stuff.
Well done, Oscar, for putting that together. Thank you very much.
Well done. It's,
Do you know what it reminds you, Max?
Yeah,
Everyone has a height.
Everyone has a height.
Everyone has a height, and that really brings us all together, doesn't it?
It really does. If anything is going to bring the world together, it's the knowledge that everyone has a height. And I know two people with a height, and they're in the final. Let's bring him out. It's Nigel Adderley.
Love to Nigel.
Morning, guys. How are we doing?
Adderley! Yes, love to Nigel.
Love to
Welcome. I mean, it must have
Nigel.
been- obviously, we all knew there were 8 legs in the third, fourth playoff, but you must be itching to get out there and play now, Nigel.
It was a bit of a surprise to see that the final was a lot shorter than the third place playoff. But look, you do things differently. You're innovators. So what can I say?
Yeah, it is interesting, isn't it? And like, but we didn't set the rules. We just got the rights. We're just very lucky rights holders. But those rules have always been in place. But as we are, Nigel Adderley's out there, and let's bring him on. Here comes the judge.
Here comes the judge. Everybody know that he is the judge.
Guilty.
Sit him down.
20 years.
25 years.
Silence in court.
Objection. Overruled. Sustained.
I am the judge and you can plainly see. I want a big
The Sizzler writes, good morning. What time is court in session for the judge's triumphant victory in House?
Court is
Not
in
that I'm showing
session.
Any bias. Love to know. Send him down. Notable Adley. Welcome, Graham, the Judge Courtney.
Welcome, Judge Graham.
I didn't know whether I should wear a suit or a bow tie or something like that today. But,
You look judicial enough.
Yeah,
Oh, thank you.
Guilty.
Thank you.
How are you feeling, Graham?
Oh, very excited, I really am. I feel as though my life has passed before me. And all this.
well, I suppose since the competition did begin in 1962, in many ways, it has. Right, Charlie, are you ready?
I'm ready. Always ready.
Are you ready, Graham?
Yep, fire away.
Oh.
Guilty. Nigel, Love to Nigel, you ready?
Send him down.
Yeah, here we go.
Love to Nigel.
Let's play. Here we go. Okay, it's World Cup heights, everybody. This is, if you're just joining us, if you haven't listened for the last 3 years, it is the final of How Tall Are They? Nigel Adley versus Graham Courtney. The coin toss had you in the home dressing room, Nigel, so you will go first. How tall is Ian Nesson-Dormandroid? Ian Nesson-Dormandroid.
He was seen as someone who was very, very tall during his playing days, but I don't think he's maybe slightly as tall as we think. I'm going to go 6'4", though.
6'4".
6'4". Graham, the Judge Courtney. Ian Dormandroid.
6'2".
6'5", still 0-0. The pressure's on both these players.
Door was open then, Graham, but here we
Door
go.
was open there for the
Graham, the Judge Courtney. How tall is Diana Ross Barkley? Diana Ross Barkley. It's World Cup heights. Ross Barkley
is 6'1".
6'1". Love to Nigel. Nigel Adley.
5'11".
He's 6'2". It's 0-0
Still
in the
0-0.
final. It's cagey.
Wow, it is cagey. It's like a game of chess, isn't it? If chess was more the heights of 5 randomly chosen footballers. How tall, Nigel Adley, is Nicky Zidane's head butt? Nicky Zidane's head butt. Nicky Butt. How tall?
5'9".
5'9". Graham, the Judge Courtney.
5'8".
Ooh,
5'10". Oh!
Runway Regals. 0-0.
0-0.
What a game.
Wow.
What a final. Graham, the Judge Courtney. How tall is Harry Ronaldo gets Rooney sent off and winks? Harry winks. Harry Ronaldo gets Rooney sent off and winks. Harry winks. How tall is he, Graham Courtney?
5'11".
5'11". Nigel Adley. Love to Nigel.
I think Graham might be bang on there, so I'm going to say 5'10".
Oh! Come on over, Adley! It's 1-0. 1-0.
1-0 to Nigel Adley. It could be the biggest upset in How Tall Are They history. As Nigel Adley takes a 1-0 lead going into the final heights against Graham, the Judge Courtney. Will we ever hear the judge's music again? The people can dream, the people can hope, but Nigel Adley has scored a fantastic goal.
Good time to score. Good time to score.
Great time
Love
to
to Nigel.
And it's Nigel's honour as well for the final heights. If you get this, Nigel, there is nothing, Graham, the Judge. You can walk free from the court, Nigel. But if you get it wrong, you could be sentenced to life in prison. We didn't tell you that was part of the game.
That's a bit harsh.
Every person that Graham the Judge Courtney beat on the way to the final is now in solitary. But here we go. How tall is Patrick Pickles the Dorgu? Patrick Pickles the Dorgu. How tall, Nigel Adley, is Patrick Dorgu?
6'3".
6'3". Graham the Judge Courtney. Nigel might be right, but if he's not, you need this. You need
6'2".
Oh, he's 6'1", and the winner of How Tall Are They? After all these years, is Love to Nigel.
Love to Nigel Adley.
Well done, Nigel.
Cheers,
Gracious from the Judge there. Send him down.
From the Judge.
Court adjourned.
Brilliant.
He throws his wig off in disgust. He kicks it into the gutter. He takes and removes his cloak. He will never judge again. And my wife says, I can hear you yelling.
Guilty.
I'd just like to thank everybody who knows me and all of my friends and relatives.
Let's have the judges' music. Let's have the judges' music one last time till next season, if we bring it back, of course.
Well, yeah, of course.
Guilty. Yeah, there goes the judge.
judge. There goes the judge.
He was a fine player.
Court is
As the judge
adjourned.
Trundles down the street, gavel in hand. He's just putting people in the cells as he walks down. There he is, Graham the Judge Courtney. Thumbs down. It's the death penalty for you. There it is.
You shall be taken from this place.
Brilliant, lads. It's been a blast.
Thanks.
It's been really good.
Thanks, great time. You've been a wonderful competitor, Graham.
Let's speak to the victor. Speak to the winner.
Let's speak to the champion. The judge dethroned, says Dan. This is what elite sport looks like. Michael says this game is so bad. It's as if Greece 2004 played Arsenal 2026. Infantino's on the pitch for the presentation. It says this. How is Nicky Butt 5'10"? He looks like the cast of the Burrowers. Anyway, Nigel.
1-0, Nigel. A 1-0. Unbelievable.
Classic Adderley.
Is there a cash prize? I should have asked that.
I don't think there's a cash prize.
No, but you avoid prison, as we established.
We can
avoid prison. Do I now face the winner of the South American final in the finalissima? That's the big question.
That's true. We'll have to find that out.
It is out. It's in the Middle East, and we, for political reasons, decided not to. We don't have the rights for that one. But look, it was against the odds. It was a 1-0, and now the Sports Bar are going to do a 3-hour show, laughing at Graham the Judge Courtney.
Has anybody seen Graham the Judge?
Exactly. Yeah. What are you going to do? How are you going to celebrate, Nigel?
I think I'll probably take the dog for a walk.
Wow, lovely.
Sun's out.
Lovely.
What a day. And what a start to the summer. I can't believe it. I won the first ever How Tall Are They pilot episode.
Did you?
To come all the way through.
You won the pilot. You've got history at winning. That's what it is. You knew how to win in the final. It's that winning experience.
I mean, the judge is someone who is an immensely tough competitor, as we know.
Yeah.
And, having come all the way through and often come from behind to win the games, I'm just absolutely delighted that finally I've got the acclaim I deserve on talkSPORT. That's all I'll say.
I think so.
Anonymous says, love to Nigel, a worthy champion for a worthless game. Bit of a shame. So a bit of a kick in the teeth on the end of it as well.
Let's play his music. Best final since Argentina, West Germany, 1990, says this one. Let's play his music. And he can be 10 feet tall.
Yes. Love to Nigel.
That's what you
love
win.
to Nigel,
You win
everybody.
the chance to be 10 feet tall. Here we go.
We'll send you a tape measure. Nigel.
The golden tape measure.
The golden tape measure.
A 30-centimetre helix ruler is on its way to you.
Shatterproof.
Shatterproof. It's Max and Charlie here till 1.
But your house on a up for sale. Did you get a good lawyer? Hope you didn't catch it.
I remember going back a couple of years when he was linked with a move to Real Madrid, and Bournemouth fell off a cliff after that because he seemed to be sort of wavered by what happened with the attention that came his way when the big boys came calling. So he's got to almost mature himself. It's a couple of years down the line. Maybe he will be able to handle it a little bit better this time around. But if Liverpool had any reservations, I would imagine that would be one of them. Bournemouth finished 6th last season, 1 position and 3 points behind Liverpool in the league. They qualified for next season's Europa League. What represents success for Andoni Iraola this time around, Crook?
It's a brilliant question. Winning the title, I guess, would be the aspiration, because Arne Slot achieved that in his first season. Jurgen Klopp won it as well. So I think that there'll be the high standards that he'll be asked to try and achieve. Obviously,
Thomas Tuchel's busy trying to bring glory back to England for the first time since '66. But how did he get here? Well, from the sleepy town of Krumbach via some giants of European football, here's his journey to Wembley. Sitting around 60 miles west of Munich, Krumbach's population is less than 14,000 people. But Tuchel's friends there remember a boy whose ambitions lay far beyond the Bavarian community. His will to win was evident early. Tuchel often captained his youth football teams, and his school side lifted the national German football trophy in 1987. The sport took the young defender on a whistle-stop tour of South Germany, from Augsburg to Stuttgart and then Ulm. A knee injury ended his playing career at the age of 25, though. Tuchel accepted his first coaching role in the Stuttgart youth setup in 2000, hired by none other than Ralf Rangnick. Under Tuchel's stewardship, the club's under-19s won their league title in 2005. But Stuttgart chose not to renew his contract, feeling Tuchel had an abrasive personality. He went on to manage Augsburg's second team before spending 5 years at the helm at Mainz. He then followed in Jurgen Klopp's footsteps and moved from Mainz to Dortmund. Here, Tuchel secured his first major silverware, the German Cup, in 2017. 8 more major trophies came next for Tuchel in just 5 glorious seasons. He won 2 Ligue 1 titles and a pair of domestic cups as PSG boss. At Chelsea, he famously lifted the Champions League, as well as a Super Cup and a Club World Cup, and he also bagged a Bundesliga at Bayern Munich. And then, 4 months after leaving Bayern, Tuchel was unveiled as England's new manager.
I always wanted to come back to England. That was my big goal. I have the best memories of the country, of the league and of the players. The attitude towards the game, the attitudes from the supporters.
Well, here's hoping Tuchel can finally drag England over the line at a major tournament.
Charlie, I think it's important to clarify it. Like Amelia sniggered at the end of that bulletin.
Yes.
I think some listeners could misinterpret that as you being one of those sort of old school, presenters.
They're not listening, then, are they? They're not listening.
Mooning.
I wouldn't do such a thing.
No,
I found a ladder. I've been and found a ladder. I'm not sure it's quite what we need. It's a step ladder, and I think Maya has been up a step ladder before.
Right, so that does take the edge off the.
So if we are going to do the transfer ladder this summer, which feels like a good thing,
We might need.
We had league ladders, didn't we? Shoot had league ladders. We can have transfer ladders.
We might need a taller ladder. We're going to need a bigger ladder, as they said on Jaws.
If there's a window cleaner in and around London Bridge, could you just, quite hard to get it in the revolving doors for a start, and then the lifts. But if you could deliver us a ladder, that would be quite useful. Anyway, England take on New Zealand tonight. In a warm-up game with a terrible pitch, and it's just don't get injured, run around a bit, get hot, get off.
Yes.
Let's do that and plenty of other stuff with broadcaster and journalist John Bruin, who joins us for a couple
John's
of
got
minutes.
music, I think he's got music.
John's got
Max.
music.
Here it comes.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for John Bruin.
John Bruin again. John Bruin again. John Bruin again. John Bruin again.
Do you like it, John?
I love a bit of Philly soul, so that'll do me. That'll do me.
Very good.
Very warm
Hello,
welcome
John.
to you. How are you feeling about England, New Zealand tonight?
I am thrilled, and yes, I think you called it right just before, Max. It's a very English game in that we're obsessed with the weather, aren't we? And we're obsessed with the pitch. It's almost. Obviously, I've been seeing a lot of the reports of the lads who are already out there, and everything appears to be about heat and sweat, and as you're correct, not getting hurt before they actually play a competitive game. The being in the United States brings us back to USA '94, those of us that remember, and I was recounting to a younger colleague yesterday how they refreshed each other, the players in those days. Remember those bags of water that they used to have in USA '94?
Yeah.
They look like,
one got a goldfish. John Aldridge.
Yes, I was going to say it looked like you got a goldfish in it. Yeah. So it's like John Aldridge fighting over a goldfish, like he was at a fairground or something. Yeah, it was. And times have moved on now, haven't they? With sports science, so hopefully our lads won't sweat like Tommy Coyne was a guy I remember for Ireland who nearly he was lucky to live. It felt after one of those games. I mean, and because Big Jack Charlton just made him run and run and run. The pressing game, as it wasn't called at the time, So I don't think we're going to see much high pressing in this game. Shall we say that?
I think you're probably right. Yeah, there's been more running at Lords in the rain between England and New Zealand in that one. I mean, I am looking forward to regards to the heat. The thing I'm most looking forward to is how hot and bothered Kevin De Bruyne looks after 45 minutes for Belgium, because he really does. Even in a winter's day, he gets a big rosy red face, so that'll be good. We heard, was it Dean Ashton talking about the England squad?
Yes.
And, I don't want to get my hopes up, John. I've been burnt before. I'm very happy going into this going, Spain looks so good. France have such brilliant attack. It will be hot for us. But it does, the squad looks like good for what Tuchel wants to do.
It does look good. It does. It looks strong compared to other squads who all have their weaknesses. That's not to say England's squad doesn't have weaknesses. I am still, and I think you're in this school, I'm still of the Adam Wharton school of why haven't we got someone that can pass it around in midfield? That's not to denigrate Elliot Anderson at all, but you just feel that type of player would go well. But
he's the one I think has missed out most, and I think it's because Jordan Henderson's going. And, and you feel like I feel like Jordan Henderson is a vibes pick, but then a lot of football managers have picked Jordan Henderson in their squads. A lot of international managers, a lot of club managers have made him their captain. He must do something and be something unbelievable in the dressing room.
Well, he is the Jude whisperer, isn't he? That's the word. Yes. Him and Bellingham have a close relationship, and to get the best from Jude Bellingham, you need someone putting an arm around his shoulder, making him feel his very best, and that appears to be one of the reasons why Jordan Henderson's there. This idea of a good tourist. I think there's we don't want this to happen, but should an injury happen, and understand if the players that are out there, the group of youngsters, only Alex Scott is eligible to be called up because he was in the 55-man named squad. And listen, I am almost as big a fan of Alex Scott as I am Adam Wharton. So, you know, it wouldn't be terrible if he was called in there. But, you know, again, a fantastic player, old style player, like Adam Wharton, you know.
Yeah.
Socks around the ankles, you know, the would look good in Mexico '86, that type of thing, you know. And it's the World Cup. We want to see players like that.
Do you know what? I really agree with you on Wharton. And I suppose that is, if I look at that squad and I look at the depth, it is central midfield that if that partnership goes, and of course Rice is such a talent, they're both really brilliant. Anderson and Rice are both brilliant. That is the worry. I actually think Lewis Skelly would, you know, after what he's done in the last few weeks, would do a better job than Kobe Mainoo in there, and the same for Wharton. I know Wharton isn't, you know, is more progressive than a, you know, classic six, but I think that might be the only. That's the little sort of, and central midfield has been, you know, a problem for so long, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, as Englishmen, we are used to the sight of our brave boys forgetting how to pass in moments of great tension, and while the opposition are much more comfortable on the ball, and that would be my concern. You would want someone that's able to string passes together, because, you know, let the ball do the work if you are, you know, in searing hot temperatures.
Ivan Toney has been selected, to a lot of people's surprise, but I think Nigel Adderley said it first, actually. Not just good at heights, of course. Love to Nigel. That he may have been picked because he's been playing in massive heat for a year. Not particularly at the level that we want him to be, but I don't know if that's right or not. But it really is an interesting selection, Ivan Toney, John.
Yeah, and I think Tuchel was talking yesterday. Thomas Tuchel was talking about how, you know, obviously Harry Kane is number one. Ollie Watkins will be the backup, and he talked about Ivan Toney in the terms of being a guy that's there for special things. Yeah. Now, I did wonder what those were.
Like an American football kicker, that sort of thing comes on just to do one job.
Get it in the mixer, you know, John. You know what I'm sensing. I'm excited.
Yeah, well, yeah, you know, he's you get a punter on and just lash it towards Toney. I mean, Toney is an excellent finisher and, of course, a great penalty taker, though I do wonder if you can just take a guy to the World Cup just to take penalties. That appears a hostage to fortune to me. But it is an interesting call, and I suppose there was a spare slot in the squad that Thomas Tuchel thought, and it's Thomas Tuchel. We don't think he's been on many scouting missions to Saudi Arabia, do we? Because obviously world events dictate it's not possible. But it's interesting. It's one that, you know, when you look at those fringe-ish players like Henderson, maybe Dan Burn, you know, and Toney, those are the risky selections. If they don't come off, and if it doesn't come off for England, those are the ones that will be questioned, I would imagine.
Yeah, but I suppose if you think about a 26-man lads' holiday, you can't. If everyone's a great bloke, that does make it better, doesn't it?
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
like, and it's a slightly more sober one than perhaps ones we went on in our youth. But, you know, you don't want 26 lads going, it's Bobbies or Busbies, which club we going and having a fight about it. We can't have that, can we? Just one more thing, actually, on keeping the ball. Like looking at the squad and what people say, it does look like England aren't necessarily going to hold on to the ball all the time. I know in the heat you do, but like with pace alongside Kane, they want to, you know, break quickly. Obviously, in the early games, you will have the ball, right? You know, the opposition. Oh, Croatia like the ball. I mean, I don't think. Obviously, the Panama game they were playing a low block, but most of them, I actually think England will want the opposition to come onto them.
Yes, yeah, and that's if we think of Tuchel's Chelsea side in particular, that it was that speed of attack was what, you know, brought him success. He is a counter attacker by very nature, but that's his innate tactical style. And this appears to be a World Cup where that might be a successful strategy. I suppose the problem is it's soaking up pressure, as we saw last week in the Champions League final. The amount of running Arsenal had to do against, you know, a very good opponents, and no one is going to be at the level of PSG, but it's tiring. It takes it out.
Yeah.
Defending is harder than attacking, and
100%.
then you need your outball, and we've got a lot of quick players, so it could work, as Dean Ashton said in the intro there. I mean, it's speed is what is going to, well, speed is the essence of most football these days, isn't it? But it's finding those moments where that can come into play. And it's Harry Kane is not just a goal scorer, of course. He's the playmaker, isn't he? He's the guy that's is going to thread it together with those wingers either side.
If he drops deep, it'll be quite frustrating when he drops. It's frustrating when he drops deep.
No, it's not. It's not. It's good. It's good with pace around him. It's not good when there's no pace either side.
When he looks tight.
Let's have this fight when England draw.
Yes, come on.
John Bruin is with us. Max and Charlie are here until 1.
When you get these Arsenal fans ranting and raving and saying some of the things that they do, and then you get this nitwit over here popping up with his little brand of observation in social media.
What, Piers?
Yeah.
Little brand of 9 million followers.
Whatever, how many followers you've got, Piers?
Well, a lot more than you, Sancho.
Fantastic, but I don't judge my
it's
work
not a
by
little
that.
brand.
But I don't judge myself by those numbers.
This is a little brand. My YouTube channel is 4.5 million subscribers.
I'm delighted.
I have 9 million followers on X. So when I say something to 9 million
I'm delighted.
people, I'm saying it to a lot more millions than you.
I'm delighted.
Yeah, but it's not a little brand. I'm not a little nitpick.
No, I'm delighted.
You may not like what I say.
I'm delighted.
But the platform I have is infinitesimally bigger than yours.
I'm delighted. You've pivoted into the digital world and hung on by your fingertips, right? But the bottom line is I'm looking at the content. I'm looking at the content, and you're asking me why.
Yes.
People are reacting negatively to what's being said. So I floated the idea without a great deal of commitment to it that silly comments that are antagonistic made by nitwits like him with big audiences.
What silly comment?
Is that better?
Well, give me a silly
Well,
comment.
I don't know. I don't study your feed, but every now and again you
Give me one example.
You pop up with observations
Give
about
me one
Arsenal
that's silly.
inflammatory. I don't know. I can look for it in a second.
Exactly. You can't think of one. You just said it.
Every now and again.
You just literally said that, and you can't tell me.
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
Morning all, it is the warm-up on talkSPORT, the world's biggest sports radio station. 104 games in the World Cup, all live on talkSPORT this summer. It's Max and Charlie talking to the broadcaster and journalist John Bruin. John, you wanted to talk about Jurgen Klopp and Real Madrid and these elections where it seems like just everybody says, and if you vote for me, everyone will get a golden hat. And if you vote for me, everyone gets £1 million, and I'll bring Pele and Maradona back to life.
Sounds good.
It's a sort of mad situation.
Do you think we should bring this to the Premier League? Do you think it'd be fun?
I agree. Yeah, I'm all in.
The transfer window can sometimes be a bit, it can drag a little bit. But maybe this is the way to hype it up: is that people declare that they're going to buy these, and that gets fans through the door. I don't know how we do it, but maybe.
Well, Spurs do it nearly every transfer window. They'll say early on, won't they? Like we're going to buy this player, or we're interested in this player. Like we're going to bring in Haaland, and then all of a sudden they won't bring in Haaland, and they'll bring in someone from the Spanish second division, and everyone walk away and go, "Oh yeah, Spurs didn't do it." So people try and do it.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for Rivaldo to turn up for Tottenham.
That's exactly what I mean.
Yeah, one day soon, one day. But yeah, and this Real Madrid thing is. I mean, it's the first election for 20 years. It was called by Florentino Perez. It's like right. I want Jose Mourinho in, and you've got to vote for me to get this guy in. Why he wants Jose Mourinho in? Well, that one's for just the man to calm things down after all the unrest in the club. and then yes, his opponent Enrique Riquelme, evocative name for footballers. Isn't
Really
it?
good. Definitely sounds like Championship Manager regen, doesn't it?
Yes, he does. Yeah. Well, funny enough, his fortune was made in renewables, Max. So there you go. So he is
okay. Yeah, he's a woke. Oh, well, I'm all in favour. Good man.
So a wokalist is, and Florentino is a civil engineer. I think is a basic builder, isn't he? And so
he's fossil fuels. So Florentino Perez is fossil fuels, and this guy's a solar panel. This is what we have.
But Florentino Perez changed the rules, didn't he? Changed the rules so basically he couldn't be voted out. Made it very, very difficult to become the president of Real Madrid. But this guy fits the bill for some reason.
Yes, yeah, he can challenge him, and so they make all these wild claims that they're going to get people, and obviously Florentino's been speaking about how he's going to sign a €150 million Galactico. That we think is Michael Elise, despite the fact he's denied it's Elise. But yeah, so and then this Haaland thing.
I will buy you this secret golden footballer, but I will not tell you who it is. It's
yeah. Vote for me, and I will tell you who this footballer is going to be. It's like Noel's house party or something, isn't it? But it's and
it's like the end of 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, exactly.
My first is in egg, but also in peach.
Exactly. It's great fun, isn't it? I mean, this is I mean, there's a World Cup on, but Madrid just take the focus, don't they? And then the other Klopp in the Riquelme camp. Klopp was the dream ticket manager as opposed to Jose Mourinho, and of course his representative has said he's very happy as. Is it global director of sport at Red Bull operations or whatever it is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Seems to involve playing a lot of paddle from those who follow Jurgen on Instagram. But Jurgen seems very happy. Looks very healthy these days, doesn't he? Looks great compared to he looked a little grey towards the end of his time at Liverpool, didn't he? And he was exhausted, quite understandably. But I was wondering, would Klopp be tempted by that? It appears not. But if you were a manager, would you, and you'd manage, you've been a great manager in the case of Jurgen Klopp, would you think Real Madrid, I'd give it a go? I mean, Sam Allardyce wouldn't be turning that down, would he?
No, that's true. I mean, I think they're slightly different. But the thing about Klopp, what Klopp did, right, was he had Firmino, Salah, and Mane, who were brilliant, but ran. Like heavy metal football requires that. And there is this weird situation with this Real Madrid squad where they don't, it appears from what everyone says, and not just, people who don't watch every bit of Real Madrid, but people who go and watch them week in, week out and who cover their games and press conferences, that the squad don't really want a manager with tactics. Like it's a mad, like Klopp's football wouldn't work with that squad because, would Mbappe run for him? Basically.
Yeah, there's always this idea, isn't it, that you can carry just about one passenger in your team, but Real Madrid appear to want to carry 4 or 5. That's the difference, isn't it? And the ethos appears to be, I am at Madrid, we'll win anyway. So why are you asking me to run after the ball?
Yeah, and the question is, how many years do they not win before it changed. Yes. I mean, maybe it's like, look, it was that was the case at PSG, wasn't it? Until Enrique came in, and it took that many years of just Galacticos and them just not quite winning anything to go, like, we've got to sort it out, because there are brilliant teams that do. And I suppose that's the question of, is Mourinho the guy that's going to get them to do that?
Well, it appears Florentino's got him in to sort of crack some heads, and that's it's pretty old school stuff, isn't it? I'm reminded of I remember when Newcastle took on Graham Souness to install discipline, and it didn't work. It's a very old school way of doing it. And Mourinho, for all his achievements, is an old school manager these days, isn't he? And he's not he's more a vibes guy than a tactics guy, and he certainly doesn't play that very modern style, as you say, Max. The way to win these days, as we saw in the Champions League, is to run around a lot and run around and operate in tandem with each other, and everything is pre-rehearsed, and it's in synthesis. And Real Madrid is almost the opposite of that, isn't it? Nothing is in synthesis, because it's a series of, well, the word Galacticos. It's a series of galaxies in the sort of floating around each other, and sometimes it works, and it was very successful in the Champions League for year upon year, and then it's come apart because it was an imperfect system in the first place, and judging by these elections, the madness isn't going to stop now. They're just going to keep throwing big names and big managers at it and hoping that something works. When they got Xabi Alonso this time last year, it felt like, there's a systems manager. He's going to turn Real Madrid. And well, it didn't work, did it?
Can I ask you a question? Steve Langton has been in touch regards our England conversation. And he says this: the more I hear Max Rushden talk about football, do you think, which way is this going to go, Charlie?
The less I think he knows.
Here we go. That's pretty good. The more his credibility crumbles.
Crumbling. The credibility is crumbling.
He's clearly not paid attention to how Kobbie Mainoo plays, because if anyone can take the ball under pressure, keep it and play through the lines, it is him. So I was saying, if Anderson gets injured or Rice, I think Kobbie Mainoo is a brilliant footballer. But is Steve right, John? Has my credibility crumbled by suggesting that, Rice and Lewis Skelly had a good understanding? I don't mind if you say it's crumbling. I value you and Steve's thoughts.
Kobbie Mainoo is a bit more, I suppose, explosive, isn't he, with the ball? I was at the United's final game of the season, Brighton. There's one amazing run he went on, straight through a series of players, and he played very, very well in that game. Listen, Mainoo is excellent, yes, but does he fit exactly what Tuchel wants? That's the question, isn't it? And that,
as a kind of six letting Rice go type thing, which is what I imagine he wants Anderson to do.
Yes, it's someone to hold the fort, I suppose. Yeah, God, we're already doing this, aren't we? We're already over analysing before we've even seen the first warm-up.
Nobody knows anything.
My credibility's on the line here, John.
It's crumbling as we speak.
What England do.
Well, I've got news for you, Max.
Has anybody seen Max's credibility?
Did such a thing exist? Yeah, so I'm not to do you down.
That is true. How much credibility did you have, Max?
I've played the game. I've played the game. All right?
Never even played the game.
I've played the game. Play the game all the time. My hips don't work because I played the game too much.
Is that Shakira's new single?
Yeah, well, as I say, my hips don't lie, but it's a
she's in her 40s now, yeah.
Exactly. My hips don't lie, but
she couldn't get up a ladder anymore.
I honestly, after playing for 3 days, I can't get on the bike one way. I have to turn my bike the other way. I refuse it like a horse refuses a fence. I just look at the bike and I can't get on it. Anyway, John, I mean, what a lovely way to finish the chat.
Excellent, John. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being there as my credibility crumbled into nothingness. You're a good man. Thank you, John.
Thank you for being you, Max. Thank you for being you. And you, Charlie.
Thank you, John. That's
good. Cheers. John Bruin there, broadcaster and journalist.
Can I just say, Colin's been in touch. Nigel Ladley. Thank you very much. Very nice. Love to Thank you.
Good stuff. England, New Zealand, by the way, commentary that game, 9 p.m, live on talkSPORT. Adrian Durham, your host, Jim Bradford, Stuart Pearce, your commentary team. Lee Phelps will join us in just a bit. We'll cross over to Lords, find out what's happening, and we'll do a bit of transfer stuff as well.
Absolute wet wipes. The lot of yous. Absolute wet wipes. Wow. Oh, he wore a PSG. Oh, he jumped around. Do you know what? If it happened again tomorrow, I would do it again tomorrow. Wow. Up the Chelsea. Here we go. There she There she is. Look at that. Wow. Look at that bad boy.
He took it too far, Dino. He took it too far. He took it too far. Up the PSG. Up the PSG. Up the Champions League. Up the Chelsea. Oh, come there, you legend. We absolutely love you. Everyone loves you. Sports Bar loves you. The people love you. The Arsenal fans hate you. But who cares? Who cares? You've done it for everyone. Apart from that Chelsea lot. Apart from that Arsenal lot. Up the Champions League. And Arsenal absolutely bottled it. They bottled it. And I was so glad that he done what he done. And he took it too far. But we love it. And I'm going to sit here. I'm going to eat my croissants. I'm going to eat my cheese. And I'm going to enjoy myself. And Gabby, you absolute legend. You legend, Gabby. You come in.
Good morning. You are listening to the warm up on talkSPORT. Max and Charlie with you until 1. What's your positive? What's your negative?
Yeah, your positive and nets. Have that on the 81089. Give us your positive. Give us your
How
negative.
did you develop this theory, Charlie?
Well, I just think everyone's starting to look the same, Max, aren't they?
Are they?
You know, everyone's having their hair done, their teeth done. You know, you used to know the great fun people were because they'd have like a big nose and like a big ears, like a bit.
The thing is, I don't know. Like I host with you, Andy Jacobs, Barry Glendenning, Paul Hawksby. I definitely can tell you all apart.
Exactly, but because that's where a different.
And think of the work that Paul and Andy
generation.
Have done. Think of all the work that Paul and Andy, honestly, never off the
But
Botox.
look, you get some good bits, you get some bad bits, and that's just how bodies are meant to be. It's only bodies. You know, aren't we lucky to be walking around having a nice time? Talking to each other.
Everybody's got a body.
Exactly.
Joe says, not sure on your credibility, Max. I think you're okay. Hope that helps. This is Maurizio says, Max, has your credibility crumbled? This assumes you had any in the first place. You could do Max Headroom, says Dan, where Max gives us a weekly update of his hair replenishment crusade with a follicle totalizer in homage to the old Blue Peter appeals. What, someone has to count my hairs? That seems like.
Have you ever shaved your head, Max? Have you ever shaved it?
Not totally.
Down to a 1 or anything like that?
No. Do you think I should do that?
Just see what it looks like.
I think I've got a fatter head than you think.
Have you? You think? Well, that's all right though, isn't it? Because you're
Thank you to Sean and crew. My one positive and the negative is I'm overweight. My one positive is I have a massive. Come on, Sean.
Sean, we're better than that.
Better
but that's
we're
true.
Better than,
a lot of ugly men do have. You know, there we are.
Yes. Let's look at the latest odds ahead of today's. Speaking of today's action with William Hill.
In the Zone on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Final One Standing from William Hill. 18 plus gambleaware.org. Terms and conditions apply.
Help! I need somebody. Help! Not just anybody. Help! You know I need someone.
Lee Phelps, welcome.
Lee Phelps.
How are you both doing?
Very well.
Yeah,
good.
I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm keen on the intro before we started, but.
Oh, really? Not into it, no, Lee? Okay.
I don't know what Max was referring to, so I don't. I'll leave it there.
No, of course not. But you will help me through my existential crisis about thinning on top with with what's happening in Final One Standing. And there doesn't seem to be any correlation, but maybe it'll help. What's happening with this? The World Cup Final One Standing about to kick off.
Yeah, we've got just about 150,000 players in the game already. It starts on June 13th, so it's not quite on Thursday when the tournament starts. You'll see we've split it into rounds to make it a bit easier. You pick a team. If they win, you go through. As usual, if they don't, you don't. There'll be rounds throughout the group stages. So if you check out the app right now, you'll see the first 12 games are listed there. You pick one, like I say, free to play, as it was all the way through last season. £250,000 jackpot up for grabs. So if you win that on your own, it's all yours. If you finish with a few others, you share the jackpot. And you'll see all the rules and regs when you get onto the app and check it out. But it goes all the way through. We reset the teams after the round of 32. So although you pick one team through that stage, you get to pick again, and you can pick the same team again from that point and reset again before the final. So it should be good fun. Very looking forward to the World Cup.
Not everyone back in, but I like everyone back in. Everybody.
Everyone back in.
Okay, so England playing New Zealand in the football and the cricket. Let's do the football tonight live on talkSPORT 9 o'clock.
Yeah, it's all about team news. You guys have been talking about it all morning, haven't you? It's like, obviously, if you're going to have a bet on it, you want to wait and see who's playing, who that first starting 11 is for it. We've got an epic boost, though. England to score in both halves from odds on, boosted to even money. New Zealand lost 4-0 to Haiti. They conceded in both halves versus Finland. So, look, if England are at it and they are trying to, win the game, then you'd expect to win both halves would be a good opportunity. And whoever's playing, those players will want to make their case. I know it's a bit of a cliche, but, you've got to say they want to make the case. England are 9-1 on to win the match. New Zealand 28-1. All the usual bet builders available. So when the team news does come through, you can pick those out. There's some interesting games today around the international friendlies. You've got your ACCA Boost and tons of games. And a lot of people with the accumulators obviously like to put kind of, the shorter price ones in. There's a few of those around. They have to be, you can't go any shorter than 1-5 on your ACCA Boost. But you've got Scotland playing Bolivia 4-9. You've got Romania against Wales. Wales not in the World Cup, of course, but Wales are 7-4. Germany 8-13 to beat USA. I'm keen to see Denis Undav in action for Germany. Of all the outright picks, maybe we've got a bit more time tomorrow. We'll talk about this in the warm-up, Max. But I like in the team top goal scorers for the World Cup. I like Undav. He's 7-1 to be the top goal scorer. Havertz is obviously the favourite, and Voltemada's ahead of him in the betting, but he'll need to score a few. He might have to come on as a sub, but if he plays in this game against USA, it'd be interesting to see. Only Harry Kane scored more than him in the Bundesliga, 18 for Stuttgart. Obviously, game time, as I say, is the kicker there, but we'll see if he plays against USA tonight. Brazil versus Egypt today as well. So there's loads of good international friendlies as we build up to the big tournament.
Do you know, there's always going to be injuries knocking players out of the World Cup. Leonard Carl missing for Germany is such a shame because he's such a brilliant... Matoma out for Japan is a real shame, but Leonard Carl, who had such a great season for Bayern, this young kid who looked totally fearless, it's a real shame. I think he's got a thigh injury or something and he won't make it, which is a real pity. What about the cricket then? Weather isn't too great at the moment, but I mean, they don't need that many overs for there to be a result, really, do they?
No, England are 2-9 at the minute in play, 3-1 for New Zealand. 218 needed, 7 wickets remaining. I mean, if the weather holds, I'm supposed to be going to a festival this afternoon. And look, British weather.
Who's on, Lee? Who's on?
What are you going to see? Brand new
Good Life Festival. Good Life. At the beautiful Harewood House in Yorkshire. So you got Groove Armada, Alison Limerick, Soul to Soul, all that good stuff from back in the day. So I'm looking forward to it. And also the rain. Obviously, the rain's falling all over the place. All those people at Epsom with the kind of with the top hats on getting wet. It's Derby Day.
I feel sorry for them.
Could there be a cagoule? This is no Dragon's Den idea. A cagoule top hat for rich people who want to stay dry.
Or one of those little umbrellas.
A Gore-Tex,
little umbrellas.
A Gore-Tex top hat. Surely you could
a Gore-Tex top hat. Yeah, Ben Fogle could advertise it. He's going to market it for me, and we could make millions, guys.
Fully waterproof top hat.
Luckily, the horses don't mind, so it's fine, isn't it? But
I don't think the horses are going to wear the top hats.
No,
I would enjoy that.
I don't think Tuka Sullivan's going to invest if it's waterproof top hats for horses. I think that is a very
that'd be an interesting look, though, wouldn't it?
Hey Lee, I know this isn't on your list, but have you got what odds have you got on a? Maybe you can't find out these sorts of things, and I'm throwing it at you. A New Zealand double.
Oh, yeah. Let me have a look at that for you.
That's a good one, isn't it?
So, it'll be a very big price, but I can get it for you in a second.
Okay.
Just let me tell you about what I'm getting that for you. Let me tell you about the epic boost at Epsom in the opener 113. Never So Brave to finish in the first two. Even money from odds on. Group 1 winner. This is Group 3 level. So and obviously we've got all the odds. Price boosts, best odds guaranteed, extra places across all the racing today, including obviously the big one as well. 115 to 1 for New Zealand to win from here in the cricket in play, and 28 to 1 for New Zealand to win the football. So 115 to 1 for a Kiwi double.
I don't mind it.
Yeah, I don't think it'll happen, but
no, I don't think it'll happen.
As we always say.
That's the point of 115 to 1, isn't it? You don't think it'll happen.
Obviously,
so you get the odds that make me think.
Quick mention, obviously, got French Open, Maja Linska versus Mira Andreeva, 2-9 favourite Andreeva. Price boost is both to win a set at 2-1 that's been boosted. Got boxing later on as well. Loads of good rugby today, and I mentioned the Greyhound Derby, so all the prices and the tips are available on the app. And this is the last one of these, guys, before the break, before someone put this in. So it's been an absolute pleasure.
What a way to find out you're dropping the sponsorship.
Every Saturday. We'll be back. Let's see you next season.
Yeah, see you next season.
We're still on talkSPORT 2 all the way through the World Cup. So if you want to hear myself and my colleagues like
talkSPORT 1 in the World Cup? What's wrong with us?
talkSPORT 2 is where it's at.
Oh, I see. Because this is not a discussion that we have on here.
No, exactly that. I was trying to be subtle.
Brilliantly.
All right, Lee. Well, look, may we never see you again.
We've loved it, Lee. You're my favourite person who comes on and does this.
Yeah,
you've got your own music.
You say that to all the bookie representatives.
No, not at all. But I do welcome our good friends at Paddy Power and Bet365 and MGM Bet on the BetMGM on the Hawksby and Jacobs show.
I'm just pleased you get our name the right way around. So let's leave it.
Good stuff, Lee. Thanks,
Lee. Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
Lee Phelps there. That was the latest odds with William Hill. Terms and conditions apply. 18+. Gambleaware.org. Adam says, "Have you ever been to a festival?" I haven't. I just wouldn't know where to be. There's too many things happening. Do I want to be in the chill out tent or the Euro pop tent or the triangle tent or the diamond tent?
You miss a lot. You have to go, I'll just stand there.
And also the queues for the toilets.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Can't be bothered. Don't like tents. Don't sleep in. I
like camping. I like tents. Yeah, I do like tents.
Me and Mrs. Rushden went to Namibia.
Oh, yeah.
And we had a tent on the top of our Land Rover. And And like you could sleep in the tent.
Oh, that's
Obviously,
nice.
there's no toilet in the tent. If you wanted to go for a wee, you have to just walk into the campsite. And they'd always say there are no lions in this campsite.
Okay,
And you go, but there might be a lost lion in the
Oh,
campsite.
yeah, that's true.
And they'd still be hungry, wouldn't they?
Don't
And you'd
live there.
think, I like the toilet to be in the same building as the bedroom. There's my room. They're my rules.
In my experience of camp, I won't go into that. Let's not carry on.
Right,
Carry on.
okay.
Go to the break.
Carry on camping. In
No
your
one
experience
needs
of
that. I
camping?
realised what the time was. No one wants to know about
Well, I do.
how to go to the toilet when you're camping.
Okay. Coming up, how to go to the toilet when you're camping.
In the Zone on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Final One Standing from William Hill. 18 plus gambleaware.org. Terms and conditions apply.
Perez, for his part, has promised he'll appoint Jose Mourinho as manager if he's elected.
She's done it, already.
Well, that's what he wants to do, but he's got to get elected to make it official. Riquelme, meantime, for his part, is saying no to Mourinho. He's promised to make Madrid legend Raul his sporting director and will not appoint Mourinho. He says, if I win the elections, I will bring to Real Madrid a superstar manager, the biggest manager you can imagine. Jose Mourinho is not that manager. He promised also, and this is where it gets interesting, to sign Manchester City midfielder Rodri, as well as Erling Haaland, and then held up a Madrid shirt with Haaland's name on the back of it. And one would think that Manchester City are none too happy about that. Is it arrogant in a presidential race like this for one of the hopefuls to promise something that he doesn't really know if he can deliver?
Well, it's like any manifesto.
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
We're giving you the chance to win a trip to the 2026 FIFA World Cup courtesy of Adidas. You and a mate could be in New York on June the 27th. Seeing England versus Panama. We've got your flights, hotels, spending money, match tickets, the talkSPORT Tri-Onda match ball, all covered. It's not the talkSPORT Tri-Onda, it's the Adidas one. We're not making balls yet. Whose face would you put on a ball for talkSPORT? Whose head is most like a football? 8, 10,
Well, there was one answer, but that's not the answer anymore because he looks great now.
Head to talksport.com. Head to talksportwin.com to enter for 2 full T's and C's as well. Right, let's do a transfer roundup with Maya Graham.
Maya he, Maya ha, Maya he, Maya he, Maya ha, Maya ha.
Welcome, Maya. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you.
Great music, Maya. Is it a Eurovision song, that? Or
Sounds like one, does it? It must have been.
Must have been.
It must have been.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Doesn't have to have been, does it?
Well, I don't know. I'll tell you what. You ask a
Look it
question
up.
about transfers and I'll find
Go
out.
on. Where do you want to start, Maya?
Let's start with Kieran McKenna. Obviously, Ipswich boss, but rumoured that he has an interest in the vacant Fulham job.
Oh.
So, yeah, Fulham obviously finished mid-table last season, probably wanting to kick on and look to get into those European places this season coming up. Ipswich do now have a buyout clause, though, which has increased to 8 million as a result of that promotion to the Premier League. There's been a few managers rule themselves out of this job. talkSPORT understands that Arne Slot and Thomas Frank have both turned this down. Can you see why Kieran McKenna would be interested in this? And is he the man to bring European football to Fulham?
Oh, Max, what do you think? The proper question there for you, Max.
Proper question, yeah. We haven't had one yet this show.
No, so
okay,
far
here are my thoughts. Do you want my strong thoughts?
Strong
I'll give you my
thoughts, yeah.
One,
I'll go on vibes.
It's weird that managers' buyout clauses are so much less than transfer fees. You know, 8 million gets you no one, and yet you know, people might go, oh, I don't want to pay that for someone who's in charge of all of your players.
Is it
And
from a
it's
different
seemingly
pot, though? Is it from a different pot of money that they have to take it now? I don't know.
I don't think so. What? It's a non-PSR pot.
Yeah.
Either way,
Okay.
it's not a lot of money if that manager is the one to bring you success. Secondly, I think it's virtually impossible for anyone who isn't a Fulham fan to have very strong feelings about Fulham finishing anywhere between, that isn't between 8th and 12th. And Kieran McKenna is a fine manager. I think he he's proved that at Ipswich. If he goes to Fulham, they'll become between 8th and 12th. And whoever takes over at Fulham, they'll come between 8th and 12th.
What do you think, Maya?
They are my
I think it's good thoughts, Max. What do you think, Maya?
I think that, so at the last time asking, we obviously know what happened with Ipswich in the Premier League. They finished second from bottom, 22 points, and it just didn't work out. He will have better players if he goes to Fulham, and he will have a bigger budget. But I always think it's hard when you take a manager that has already been in the Premier League and not delivered, to then look at a team like Fulham, who, like I said, would want to kick on and be in those European places, and ask him to deliver at that kind of magnitude when he's just not proven to do it. I'm a fan of young managers to just being given a chance. So from that point of view, I get it, I understand it, and for him as well, great job. But will he now want to, he's back in the Premier League with Ipswich again. Will he want to this time round stay with Ipswich and show I can do this with a promoted team?
It's a different balancing act, isn't it?
Yeah.
With when you leave a job as a manager, because you could easily go to Fulham and have no job by Christmas.
Exactly.
Really easily, but also
a massive payoff.
But so it depends if you want the money or you want the job or you want the kudos, or he's obviously enjoys being at Ipswich. I don't know. If I'm him, I'm going for the Fulham job. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
I've had a look at the few other contenders' favourites to maybe get this job. I'll throw a few names at you. So I've seen Frank Lampard, Scott Parker and Liam Rosenior. Do you think any of those would be a better fit?
Scott Parker was there before, wasn't he? And I don't think he was a big fan favourite. I think they won 1-0 or lost 1-0 a lot, and it was quite dull football under Scott Parker because that's what he tries to do. So I don't think he's that popular. I'd be surprised if Scott Parker went back. Does Frank want to do that? He's just, I don't know. Does Frank?
There's so much goodwill at Coventry.
Chelsea legend going in at Fulham. I don't know, Max.
Yeah, I think he wants. If I'm Frank Lampard, I'm staying at Cov, because Cov is a sort of beautiful story, and he wants to see it out. And I think Liam Rosenior needs to probably go abroad again and rebuild again after what happened at Chelsea. I don't think it was all his fault, but he didn't have the dressing room.
Big Ange. Why is no one linking Big Ange to Fulham? It'd be great for Fulham and Ange Postecoglou.
Good for the Premier League. That's what I say.
Well, I was the first man to say, go. Come on, Spurs, get him. I feel that was down to me. I don't know if it did get us a trophy.
He did win a
so
trophy.
I'm taking responsibility.
17th twice.
What else have you got, Mike? We don't have a lot of time.
Oh, yeah,
because
sorry.
we
Big
just played
chat
too much of
about-
the song.
Okay, so
We'll
do
play
we
out
want-
with
What is
the
this,
song.
Radio Fulham?
Okay, I'll leave this, guys. Well, what do you want? We've got Rafael Leao or some Spurs chat.
Spurs chat all day long.
I am a Spurs
Well,
fan.
probably, you know,
so-
if it's a bit like home and away in question of sport, I'm more comfortable on. Leao's a
happier
brilliant
on-
player, but I don't know how brilliant. I don't know how he played last season, so I'm not confident in giving listeners any information on Leao. But I can give you some Tottenham opinions. What you want to tell me?
Okay, here we go. Obviously, a big announcement yesterday. Michael Dawson announcing, as former captain of Andy Robertson, his move from Liverpool to Tottenham. He comes with a wealth of experience, trophies, lots and lots to offer. First of all, do you understand this move? Do you get it?
Yes.
Do you think he's going to play? I, as a Spurs fan myself, I really like it. I think Spurs as a club, we need winners in there, and he knows how to win. I do think it begs the question, though, of the back line in general. Obviously, we've heard Senesi just about over the line, apparently. Van Hecker, a first bid went in, rejected. But I think there will be a lot, and obviously we don't know the future of Christian Romero as well. So I do think there'll be lots of questions asked about how that back line for Spurs will look next season. But in terms of Andy Robertson himself, I'm really pleased.
Well, he's
with that.
captain material, isn't it? And that's what they were missing on the pitch, I thought, the last couple of seasons was someone who was the definite captain, Max.
He's not going to start every game. I don't think he'd, but he will be very good in the dressing room. He's a good player. Lots of Liverpool fans said they didn't want to lose him and he had a lot to offer and sometimes played better than anyone else who played left back for Liverpool. I think Romero will go. I don't think that's a disaster. I'd like, for football, it would be lovely to see him at Atleti because that's just a symbiotic fit with him and Simeone. And it could be disastrous, but it'll be entertaining. I like Van Hecker. I'm not sure about Verbruggen in goal. Every time I see him, he's just on the halfway line doing something a bit mad. And is Kingsley good enough to be the number one? I don't know. But he was brilliant for those last few games and did so well after coming back from what happened against Atleti. But yeah, Robertson is a great signing, and I'm just pleased that they're still in the Premier League, and they'll still be on Match of the Day. You have to wait till later to see the highlights of them. It's just such a relief. Hey, thanks, Maya. That was good.
Thanks, Maya. Great
Thanks,
stuff.
guys.
Thank you.
Maya Graham there with some transfer stuff. It's Max and Charlie here on the warm up. Another hour to go of this high quality broadcasting.
Crookie, what about Elliot Anderson? We're led to believe that opening bid from City has been knocked back from Forest. Is it just a case of a matter of time, this one getting over the line?
I think so, and again, no surprise that City have tried to make their move early. We were told at talkSPORT a couple of weeks ago that in an ideal world, Elliot Anderson's future would be sorted before he kicked his first ball for England at the World Cup. Obviously, City are trying to get this one done. We know that Evangelos Marinakis can be a difficult negotiator. Just ask Tottenham and Morgan Gibbs-White from this time last year. But all the information I have is that City have always been Elliot Anderson's preferred choice, despite the fact there's also interest from Manchester United.
Thomas Tuchel's busy trying to bring glory back to England for the first time since '66. But how did he get here? Well, from the sleepy town of Krumbach via some giants of European football, here's his journey to Wembley. Sitting around 60 miles west of Munich, Krumbach's population is less than 14,000 people. But Tuchel's friends there remember a boy whose ambitions lay far beyond the Bavarian community. His will to win was evident early. Tuchel often captained his youth football teams, and his school side lifted the national German football trophy in 1987. The sport took the young defender on a whistle-stop tour of South Germany, from Augsburg to Stuttgart and then Ulm. A knee injury ended his playing career at the age of 25, though. Tuchel accepted his first coaching role in the Stuttgart youth setup in 2000, hired by none other than Ralf Rangnick. Under Tuchel's stewardship, the club's under-19s won their league title in 2005. But Stuttgart chose not to renew his contract, feeling Tuchel had an abrasive personality. He went on to manage Augsburg's second team before spending 5 years at the helm at Mainz. He then followed in Jurgen Klopp's footsteps and moved from Mainz to Dortmund. Here, Tuchel secured his first major silverware, the German Cup, in 2017. 8 more major trophies came next for Tuchel in just 5 glorious seasons. He won 2 Ligue 1 titles and a pair of domestic cups as PSG boss. At Chelsea, he famously lifted the Champions League as well as a Super Cup and a Club World Cup, and he also bagged a Bundesliga at Bayern Munich. And then, 4 months after leaving Bayern, Tuchel was unveiled as England's new manager.
I always wanted to come back to England. That was my big goal. I have the best memories of the country, of the league and of the players. The attitude towards the game, the attitudes from the supporters.
Well, here's hoping Tuchel can finally drag England over the line at a major tournament.
Good afternoon, all. It is the warm-up on talkSPORT. Max and Charlie with you until... Are we 3 hours every day in the World Cup?
I don't know, Max.
Or are we 2?
Probably.
What's going on?
Saturdays and Sundays with me and you.
Yeah,
during the World
Barry's
Cup.
sleeping.
Barry will be asleep. You'll be up trying not to. Don't wake Barry. It's our new show. It's our new game that we're going to be playing. Don't wake Barry.
So I am rooming with Barry for our podcast in Los Angeles for a month. And I think the warm-ups will be 2 or 3 a.m. for me. And so Barry was like, no, Barry will be, he said 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. is for sleeping for Barry. So it'll be me and you Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah.
But we don't know if it's 2 hours or 3 hours. It might change depending on commentaries and games and all that.
If England get in the final, we will 100% not be on, Max. But they will bump us like that.
Yeah. No, they won't.
For the final.
They didn't bump us last time for the
That's
final.
True.
They managed to let us on.
Penalties. More and more of that.
But there is a chance that I will be in the room next to Barry, just whispering the whole show, like a snooker commentator.
Barry, it's going to be
don't wake. No listen. We could get listeners to call in and be really quiet for the whole time.
Yeah, we'll have the quiet 10 minutes is lovely. The quiet World Cup chat.
On a Sunday, if he
look really good.
I think that was a really good game. You don't have to whisper. It's okay because
I will want to join in.
I know you will, but it'll be fun. But also, it'd be annoying if I do wake him up on a Sunday because then he's not getting paid. He's not doing the shows, but he's also awake, just sitting there. He could just sit next to me. But anyway, let's do some World Cup then. 104 games, all live on talkSPORT. We'll have England, New Zealand live tonight. Let's talk to Master from the S Word who joins us now. Hey, Master, how are you?
How's it going? Hey, by the way, the final's going to be at 8 p.m. here in London, so a veteran move for him to jump back in for the World Cup final and take over for that one.
Well
done. Won't have to worry about it.
Yeah, the question is, are we important enough to talkSPORT to stay on air if England are in the World Cup final?
We don't know. We won't find out till the day before.
The day before, they're like, we've just got, they'll find 2 old England players that can't talk, and they'll be like, they'll be better. And we're like, come on, we flogged our guts out for this, you swines. But it's good to discuss it on air because then they at least get the message that we want to do it. Master, can you tell us about, for the listeners that don't know about the S Word, tell us what it is.
Yeah, we're branching out into the States, obviously, with America being one of the host nations, trying to branch out and grow the talkSPORT brand out there and giving Americans the soccer show they deserve. The conversation as it continues to grow. Soccer has become the 3rd biggest sport in America at this point. Over 50 million people consider themselves avid fans. And you got cities like LA now where the sport is becoming the most popular played sport in the city, which is massive. And so it's going to be a huge boom coming off of this. And so we want to make sure that we feed the fans and feed the audiences every single day, Monday through, well, now we're 7 days a week, actually, 7 days a week during the World Cup, 1 to 3 p.m. London time, 8 to 10 a.m. Eastern time, 5 to 7 for the sickos that get up in LA for this. But yeah, it's going to be amazing. And it'll be a great way to lead into all of the matches that are going in and recapping what happened while everyone was asleep here in London.
Are you feeling an appetite for it? Yeah, I know you're not there. I know you're in London at the moment, Master, but are you feeling there's going to be an appetite for it? Because obviously the NBA finals are on at the moment. Go Knicks, 2-0 up, going to sweep the Spurs. And, you know, the baseball is on as well throughout the summer. So they are the 2 biggest sports. Are they feeling the World Cup yet?
Yeah, I think they are. I think in the last week, you've seen a lot of the promotions. You've seen a lot of the excitement. I saw last night as I was watching the Knicks game, the Spanish national team landed in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And it brought a lot of conversation of how people are going to see some of the strangest sentences they've ever heard in their life during this World Cup. And so as you're seeing, you know, Ghana getting the reception they got in Virginia, and obviously all the conversations of tickets and weather and heat and the field, it's all culminating where America is a city that loves a spectacle. And I think the spectacle's here, the players are here, they're all arriving. And so now the excitement and the anticipation is really here. So I think over the next coming days, you'll start to see a lot of people domestically in the States really jump on board and take this thing to another level.
And some good news is that Gianni Infantino has let people have a glass of water at the football, isn't it? I mean, he is really God, what a generous guy. I mean, I'm not a massive fan of FIFA, Master, and a lot of stuff that they've done around this World Cup and previous World Cups as well. But this is a real own goal to sort of ban people taking a bottle of water in and then have to reverse it. I mean, at least they have come to the right decision in the end.
Yeah, eventually they did. I was a pitchside reporter for the Club World Cup, and I genuinely remember passing by people as they were literally fainting in the heat and having to go into the media center and trying to get them waters as they're literally being escorted out by paramedics. And so, and that was the heat condition from last summer, and I don't think it's going to get any better this summer with El Nino, as we're starting to see already the players trying to adapt to the conditions. And so it was a dumb decision to begin with. It was clearly a corporate greed decision being made. They wanted to mask it as player safety, which we knew it was nonsense. They just wanted to milk out as many dollars as they could, overcharging people for those bottles of water. But truth be told, even as a fan, when I went to the semifinal game, Palmeiras versus Chelsea, finding water is very inaccessible, and trying to buy water in these stadiums is very inaccessible. Right. The queues are incredibly long at halftime, and it's just a very narrow window that you have to really try and find proper hydration. So Ultimately, they got to the right place, but I still think it's going to be something we need to monitor because some of these conditions, especially in the Northeast, it's going to be very unbearable, and it's going to be something that we need to watch. As much as we watch player safety, we should keep fan safety in mind as well.
Yeah, there's always this chat about problems going into World Cup. You know, the Qatar World Cup, all everyone talked about was problems, and then it was, you know, very, very well run. Lots of stuff seemed to be relaxed and seemed to happen for the actual tournament. I think it was the Beijing Olympics everyone was worried about going into, and then it was an incredible Olympics, you know, because everything seems to get relaxed. Is this what we're going to see here, Master?
That's the hope. That's the hope. As an American, as an avid fan that wants to display how much we really love this sport, as much as we get knocked for it, that's the hope. And truth be told, out of any country in the world, we have the best stadium infrastructure to host these kind of events. Now, if you want to talk about transportation infrastructure, that's a whole completely different subject and conversation that obviously we need a lot more work in throughout the country. But in terms of putting on a spectacle, in terms of filling out 60, 70,000 fans and having a great time for a course of a couple hours, it's hard pressed to find anybody that does it better than America. And so I'm more curious of the different cultures that you're going to find because, you know, the New York fan is not necessarily the same as the LA fan. That's not the same as the Atlanta fan or even the Dallas fan, which is where I'm from. And so incorporating and fusing those with the different nations that'll be, descending upon these different cities, for me, I think is going to be the most beautiful part. So I hopefully when the games do start, I think it'll be okay. And honestly, I don't know about you guys. I think the expanded tournament, as much as people are talking about the group stage is not going to be fun, I truly think we're going to find more group situations like we did in 2022, where the Costa Rica, Spain, Germany group that we found, I think we're going to see a lot of chaos in match day 3, where some of these nations are going to be jockeying for positions because truly 3 points can get you in. So a surprise victory by Tunisia all of a sudden can throw an entire group out the window. So I think it's going to cause for more chaos, and chaos is good.
And just a quick one on dynamic pricing, which does exist in America, you know, not in other sports. Yeah, of course. So like, because, you know, it does seem like, you know, and the fact that FIFA get resale money back to them, like you mentioned corporate greed around, you know, you can only have our water. It is such a shame, I think, for, you know, fans of, say, Scotland who haven't qualified since '98, or, you know, if you're Cape Verde or whatever, and it's your first ever World Cup, and you manage to afford to get there, or you're part of the diaspora and you live in the States, and then you can't afford to go.
Yeah, it is, and that's goes across the board right now with what's going on in the States. It's not just sports fans. I mean, if you want to go see Beyonce or Taylor Swift, you're better off going to Europe or another country to see them than you are in the States because of dynamic pricing. It's gotten incredibly ridiculous to the point where these algorithms are controlling the pricing and fixating the value of an experience of a lifetime that most people would love to see, but unfortunately are being priced out of being able to afford it. So as much as I would love to blame FIFA, I think this is more just an American thing, truth be told, because FIFA is just applying the system that already exists in America. And we've tried for the last couple of years of trying to dismantle dynamic pricing. And I think a lot of Americans thought we got a long way there, but unfortunately under this regime, it's still existing. So it's something I would like to see go away, because I feel like, as you mentioned, in order to get the exposure that you properly need to grow this sport, you need the family of 4 to be able to see these matches. You need the next generation to be able to experience these. You need the core memories to be established. So whether it is Cape Verde versus Saudi Arabia, or if it's Australia versus Iran, or New Zealand versus Iran, like it doesn't matter to the kids. It's more about the experience and the culture and the idea that I got to see this match, and how influential that was for me when I was able to see some of these matches early on as a kid, whether it would be in basketball and soccer and football, et cetera, and how that drove me into the career I'm currently having right now. You want the next generation to be able to continue the momentum that a lot of people already put a lot of work in to make this sport a huge force in America. So I think here's the thing, the other part with dynamic pricing, just be patient, just wait. As a dynamic pricing guru, just wait till the last minute, because oftentimes the inflated algorithm is accounting for the demand. And if you just wait long enough, these prices will start to plummet. I'm not saying every price. England, Croatia, you may be on your own there. But some of these other matches, just continue to wait as long as possible as you can. Wait till the day before, even the morning before a match, and I promise you, you won't be paying $1,000 for tickets in most situations. Again, Colombia, Portugal, there's going to be some exceptions, like the New York Knicks Game 3. You're going to be paying $11,000 to get in right now for Game 3.
Yeah,
but
go Knicks.
in other situations, patience is the key with dynamic pricing.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Master. Thanks for coming on.
No doubt. Appreciate y'all.
Nick's in form, Master.
There from the S Word, which you can find on talkSPORT's YouTube channel, as you said, going live 7 days a week during the World Cup.
Sounds a lot, doesn't it?
Tom,
sounds a lot.
It does sound a lot, yeah. Tom Clayton is joining us for some breaking news, Tom.
Yeah, that's right. This lunchtime, West Ham United have posted a statement saying West Ham can confirm that joint chair David Sullivan has stepped down from his position with immediate effect. Mr. Sullivan has also resigned as the director of both WH Holding Limited and West Ham United Football Club, having been made aware of the impending publication of serious historic allegations. It's understood none of the allegations relate to West Ham United or any of its operations. Through his own legal representatives, Mr. Sullivan denies any illegal conduct and has taken the decision to step down in order to avoid disruption to the club while he addresses the matter privately. Interim Chief Executive Officer Karim Varani, reporting into the current board of directors, will continue to be responsible for leading the club's day-to-day operations. The club will provide an update to the future structure of the board of directors in due course, but at this time it will make no further comments. So, just that breaking news, West Ham United have confirmed that joint chair David Sullivan has stepped down from his position.
Thanks, Tom. Yeah, that'll be a lot of interest to West Ham fans. There are two separate stories there. One is the allegations that many of you may have heard that we cannot discuss. One is the footballing impact that we can discuss. So if you're a West Ham fan and you have any thoughts on that, we will happily hear from you. 1899 03717 223344. We're going to talk to Dan Lawless from West Ham TV in a little while about that. It's Max and Charlie here on the warm-up.
Let's talk about the World Cup then in a bit more detail. England, of course, touched down in America ahead of the competition. Let me get your views on the squad. Lots of players that a lot of people should have been in it weren't. Cole Palmer, Phil Foden, Gibbs White, Adam Wharton, Trent, of course, Harry Maguire being another one. What have you made of the squad and the players that aren't going?
All of them players are the real technicians. Adam Wharton, Foden, Cole Palmer, Trent. And Trent. So my opinion personally is the majority of them players should have gone, because I think that holding the ball in a World Cup is the most crucial thing, and being that team. But Thomas has gone the other way. Thomas, you can see he's picked by the team he's picked, it's going to be a sort of low to mid block, and he's going to look for counter-attacking football, right? So personally, I would have done it differently, but I like the fact that he's picked the type of players for his style of football that he thinks going to do it. And like, we're still a week gone from the squad, and we're still talking about the players not there. Almost like.
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
Good afternoon. You are listening to Warm Up on talkSPORT. Max and Charlie with you until 1 this afternoon. So just to repeat that news that Tom broke a few minutes ago, David Sullivan has stepped down as co-chairman of joint chair of West Ham United. He's resigned as a director of both WH Holding Limited and West Ham United Football Club, having been made aware of impending publication of serious historic allegations. Understood none of the allegations relate to West Ham United or any of its operations. This is from a club statement. Through his own legal representatives, Mr. Sullivan denies any illegal conduct, has taken the decision to step down in order to avoid disruption to the club while he addresses the matter privately. So look, we'll get some West Ham reaction in a little bit. As I said, the allegations are something that we don't want to and can't really discuss, but we can discuss his impact on the football club and what this means for the football club going forward, because I know a lot of West Ham fans were not happy with the way the ownership was under him and under Karen Brady. We'll hear from Dan Lawless from West Ham TV in a little while. Before that, we can do some Liverpool after Antonio Aurelio was announced as manager. Michael Quill is from the Anything Liverpool podcast. Joins us now. Hey, Michael, you okay?
Yes, mate. Very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks for coming on. I mean, it's been quite an interesting week for Liverpool. I don't know about you. I was on air when Slot was sacked, and I was slightly surprised. I'd been led to believe that he was staying, and then I think it was this time last week, wasn't it, that he got the boot and Iraiola's in. How do you feel?
Yeah, listen, it's been a really fascinating week as a Liverpool fan. You know, football moves very fast, and you can say fans are very fickle. But like you said, the news that everyone was getting, from fans to media to just representatives of the club, was that the faith had been placed in Slot and that he was going to be here next season. So the headline that came out, I think it was midday, wasn't it, on Saturday last week, it caught everyone by surprise, even the people closest to the club, which, I mean, listen, maybe more will come out about that, what the specific, change was. But some of the articles that have came out seem to highlight the fact that there wasn't really too much of a rotation of the squad. There didn't seem to be too much trust put in the youth, as well as results in the playing style not really linking to the fans. So there seems to be a culmination of things that were in his control that have led to his sacking, as well as some, of course, very unfortunate events that were out of his control.
Yeah, I think they're right to bring them up. Canate sort of brought that up as well, about the death of Diogo Jota, and also losing, his family member as well. So I really sympathise with Slot for that. I almost gave him a pass for this season. But once you lose the dressing room, and that was proved by the number of people that liked Mo Salah's message, you've lost the dressing room. It's really, I just think Iraola is such a fascinating appointment. I'm fascinated to see who he recruits and how differently you play.
Yeah, listen, it's a fascinating position we're in as a club right now, because I think a lot of pressure on the shoulders of Slot, rightly or wrongly, last season was to challenge or retain the title or bring home a Champions League trophy. I don't think any of that pressure will be on Areola in this first season, because I felt like last season, regardless of everything surrounding Liverpool, still was the ending pages of a chapter. You had Salah and Robertson leaving at the end of the season, speculation around Canate lingering the whole season. It still felt like the ending of a chapter. They're almost still like the bookend of Klopp's era. Right, as I say, rightly or wrongly. Whereas Iraola, it feels like this fresh start, this new beginning, and I think that is going to work heavily in his favour. He doesn't have to handle the struggles that potentially the club had to shoulder last season. I think that, every player has a clean slate, as he said today in the second part of his interview that came out. He said every player will be treated like a new signing, which will be music to the ears of players that maybe didn't have the most successful start to their career, and Isak and Wirtz, and players that Liverpool fans loved but did not have a good season last year, such as, Alexis McAllister. So it's a very interesting time. I think it's hard to kind of put into words whether it's excitement or just anticipation for the differences we're going to see in the approach to the game next season for me personally. But listen, it's certainly interesting to say the least, and it is now really the start of a new era. New leaders will be found, a new style of play, and hopefully a new energy can be found in players of old. So yes, it's an interesting time.
Yeah, one of his strengths at Bournemouth seemed to be working with players and getting the best out of them, making them become the best player that they could possibly be. You'd hope he'd do that with the players that have cost you £500 million last summer. Maybe he's got a fresh look at Wirtz and Isak, but specifically. Do you think he'll be given money to bring his own people in as well?
Yeah, no, listen, I will say I do find it funny. I genuinely find it funny. Like the first time I was on the show, I was with Rory Jennings. At that point, it was 380 million. Now it's 400. Then it was 400 million. Then it was 450 million. Now we're saying 500 million.
Have I got my numbers wrong?
I'm only messing with you. Don't worry. I'm only messing.
I was just worried you put me in a box with Rory Jennings.
Are you accusing talkSPORT of sensationalising something there?
Never.
How dare you?
No, hold on. No.
How much is it then? How much is it?
Hold on. I want to be back on the show.
No, it's fine. How much is it?
No, listen. If I've got it right, I think it was 400 and just under 440 in terms of players acquired. I think it was just over 250 in player sales.
Okay.
Now, listen, I'm not using that as an excuse. I'm just being pedantic for the sake of being pedantic. But I think when you look at it, you are right. I think players like Wirtz, Kirkes, Frimpong, these types of players that weren't necessarily Premier League proven or potentially weren't proven at the very top level, yes, he's going to be able to develop them. I do think the way Liverpool will play under Iraola will be more suited for all of the players I've just mentioned there. Most namely Wirtz. I think if you look at how Krupi's been used this season as his second striker, the amount of space he's been able to find as a result of the way Ivan Nielsen was positioned, I think Liverpool will structure themselves in a similar way to create space for Wirtz, because more often than not, his worst performances came from when he'd received the ball. He'd had 3-4 players around him because of how slowly we were moving in transition. But something that I find probably most notable from his interview was he's mentioned his willingness to develop young players, right? And his willingness to work with players coming back off loan and the ones that will be in the academy. That isn't the players we've named there. That's your Harvey Elliott's, that's your Neonis, your Rio Engamoas, your Jayden Danns when he returns from injury, Will Wright. These players that I think people forget about when people think of Liverpool's squad depth lacking. Liverpool squad depth lacking. They often forget the quality of youth that Liverpool have and will continue to produce, especially over the last 18 months with the recruitment process that they've rigorously gone through. So I think we are going to see. Go on.
Do you think that includes Harvey Elliott? Do you think Harvey Elliott will be back in a Liverpool shirt?
It's a hard one because I think he's in a similar place to Curtis Jones. They both want first team football, and deservingly so. Are they going to necessarily get that in Liverpool? It's hard to say. And I don't know whether Jones has got the patience to go through another pre-season with another new manager just to find himself back on the bench. I think Harvey Elliott, however, probably has a point to prove. I thought he was really hard done by Slot. I think he really was. He was mistreated. He didn't get enough minutes, and then the Villa loan was just a disaster from all sides, from all parties. And
sad.
Come on, what do you think? Do you think he's a better player than maybe people realise? Because to spend your entire season on loan at Villa and barely play 10 games, just feels harsh, doesn't it?
And he'd had such a good under-21s tournament. I think he's a really good footballer. Yeah, I mean, look, that's the funny thing about some managers fancy, some don't. And Emery thought, actually, I'd rather the money. And I thought, part of me just thought it seems 100%. A silly rule where he could just go somewhere else and play football. And I don't think anyone would be annoyed by it. Anyway, Michael, look, thank you. And look, we welcome pedantry. And you're definitely welcome back on if you'll come on. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, of course, man. Thank you for having me. Yeah, no, absolutely. Man. Thank you, guys.
Michael Call there from the Anything Liverpool podcast. It's Max and Charlie here until 1. We'll do some West Ham on the news that David Sullivan is stepping down as joint chair. And there's always time for time difference too.
he's the sort of player, Andy, that you can't really look at age because he could play at this level for another 4 or 5 years at least.
Do you think that long?
Yeah, I do.
31. You think he could be playing?
Doesn't rely on his pace.
No, he doesn't. But it's very rare you get great players. Even look at Mo Salah, right? Last season,
Relied
season
on
before
his
last
pace.
was. Yeah,
you know what I
well,
mean?
I did look at Salah and thought his pace had gone. His just whole game went all of a sudden overnight.
Yeah. I think when I watched him, he didn't look as quick. But I feel like Bruno Fernandes. Do you know what I mean? You'll find a position for him, even if his legs do go a little bit. He's just that talented. His passing range, mate. Do you know what I mean? Set pieces.
Reportedly has a £57 million release clause for European clubs. That means he can't, for argument's sake, go to Man City. Should the likes of Real Madrid be all over that? Is that a bargain?
I would. If I'm buying Munich, Real Madrid, any club, maybe not PSG, that they've got a very good midfield. But if I'm Manchester United, I'm saying not a chance. 60 million, 70 million, I'll say no. I feel like he's that good to what Manchester United have done in the last season we just had. And going forward, who are you going to buy to replace him?
Yeah. Well, my view earlier on was get the 57, put 43 to it, and go out and get Elliot Anderson. Then you're starting again because he's a young kid.
Of course, yeah. But Elliot Anderson, Bruno Fernandes, 2 different players.
Yeah, no, I know that.
Do you know what I mean? You need to get Elliot Anderson as well as keeping Bruno Fernandes. And how much money will it cost you if you sold Bruno Fernandes? You might get 57 million, but maybe you miss out on Champions League next
good
season.
Point. Yeah.
So
this was just to remind you, this was Bruno's quote last November. He said, "From the club side, I felt."
Get ready to get the ultimate football fan winning feeling with talkSPORT Win.
Yeah, the FIFA World Cup kicks off next Thursday. talkSPORT sending you and a mate straight to New York to see England live with Adidas, the tournament's official match ball supplier. We're talking a trip to watch England face Panama, return flights, hotel, match tickets and spending money all taken care of. Plus, Adidas is throwing in the official Trounder match ball and a fresh pair of boots. So ready to get that winning feeling? Here's Charlie.
For your chance to win, head to talksportwin.com or text WIN to 83338. Text and online entries cost £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or you can call 0343 418 7260. Entries must be in by 4 p.m. June the 12th, and that's when you need to answer your phone if it rings. 18 plus, UK residents only. This is a TalkSport promotion. Full T's and C's at talksportwin.com. For your chance to win, text WIN to 83338 now.
Good luck, everybody.
Good luck.
Let's go to Lords. Sam Allied watching nothing at the moment. How are you, Sam?
Yeah, I'm good. Good, thank you. I'm watching the England players warming up a little, which is better than where we were 20 minutes or so ago. But yeah, rain has delayed the start of play. But it stopped raining. The covers are off. The players are warming up. We got an early lunch being taken right now. And hopefully, if there is no more further rain, we will start at 1 o'clock. And when we do, New Zealand need 218 runs to win, and England needs 7 wickets.
Yeah. So look, there doesn't need to be. I don't know exactly what the forecast is, but there doesn't need to be that much cricket to get a result in this game.
30 with the way this pitch is playing. If we get 30 overs today, this could be a result. I think that England will think that's enough time. I think when New Zealand come out to bat, because of the way the pitch is playing, I think they're going to have no choice but to come out and swing. I think there's no point in just sitting and defending and blocking because a ball's going to keep low and have your name on it. So I think whether England get the 7 wickets or New Zealand get the 218 runs, it's going to happen quite quickly.
I mean, what was it? The Bethel wicket, the one that basically just rolled along the ground.
Yeah, ridiculous, Max. Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
It's pathetic. I mean, but Max, the first ball of this Test match kept low like that. It happened on day 1 of a Lord's Test match. That happened yesterday on day 2. It barely got off the ground. This is a great Test arena. Celebrating his 150 Test match, but what we saw yesterday with that ball keeping low, I'm sorry, on day 2 of a Test match, completely unacceptable.
Have the ground staff said anything? I remember in Australia, didn't you know, whoever have a funny name, like a slightly sort of over the top name for the head groundsperson in Australia.
We haven't heard anything official yet. Possibly maybe at the end of this Test match, but I believe that I've been hearing that the England captain Ben Stokes hasn't been particularly happy with. To be honest with you, I don't think anyone's been particularly happy with what we've witnessed. Look, we want to see a good contest between bat and ball. I don't think anybody wants to rock up to a stadium and see 500 play 500. But I think what we saw yesterday with the ball barely getting off the ground, that's not Test cricket. It's just ludicrous stuff, really.
Is it? Do you think it was baking hot in London? It didn't rain for 2 months. It was absolutely baking hot in London for a couple of weeks after that. And now about a month's rain dropped in 2 days. So
I get that, Charlie.
Sort of thing.
One thing I would say, though, I think it hasn't just been this Test match. I mean, what we saw yesterday was a really, really sort of bad and obvious example. But I think the pitch here at Lord's hasn't played particularly well for the last couple of years. So it hasn't just been this Test match kind of thing. Not great, not ideal. You don't want to see that really on day 2. Possibly, you said maybe if you get to day 5 and it's been a used wicket, there's cracks, the sun's breaking down on it. That can be part of the challenge batting late on day 5. For it to happen on day 2 is not good. And it's, I'm sure, an argument and debate that's going to rumble on way after this Test match is finished.
Cheers, Sam. We'll put you to work after 1 o'clock when they get back out there. Sam Ella there at Lord's. We just heard the news. Tom Clayton broke it around 12:15 that David Sullivan has resigned as West Ham chairman and director. He has written a statement which is long, but it is worth reading. He says, I've recently become aware that factually incorrect and entirely false decades-old allegations concerning my personal life are due to be broadcast and published. The false allegations levelled against me have been sensationalised by the media. After a lifetime spent building businesses in the adult industry in which I've met thousands of women, it's sadly inevitable that a small number of improper conduct claims are being made against me. I categorically deny these claims. I'm a private man, and those who personally and professionally know the real David Sullivan, not the caricature invented by the tabloids, know exactly who I am and what I stand for. I'm absolutely not the person the media has decided to paint me as. I've not been provided with any proper explanation as to how these individuals or their claims were independently verified or assessed for credibility prior to publication. I believe the entire process has been fundamentally unfair and completely lacking in any due impartiality. I'll be suing the BBC for libel, along with any other media outlet that repeats any libelous allegations. None of these allegations relate to my more than 30 years in football. West Ham United has been one of the greatest passions and privileges of my life. I care deeply about the club, its supporters, its players, its staff, and its future. At what is already a challenging and important time for the club, I refuse to allow personal matters concerning me to become an unnecessary distraction or a source of instability. Therefore, after very careful consideration and with a heavy heart, I've decided to resign as joint chair and director of West Ham United FC with immediate effect. This has been an incredibly painful decision to make, but it's one made out of love, respect and responsibility toward a football club and a fan base that deserve absolute unity and focus moving forward. I'm stepping down to apply my full energy and attention on fighting these false allegations. I've officially engaged my legal team. We're preparing to issue legal proceedings in respect of each and every false complaint that has been made against me. I'll be seeking full redress legally and publicly on every single front. As I depart, I want to thank everyone connected with West Ham United, past and present, for the loyalty, friendship, memories and European adventures and successes I will carry with me forever. West Ham United will always remain close to my heart, and I have total confidence that the Board of Directors and Interim Chief Executive Officer, Karim Virani, will do everything they can to take the club forward in the right direction. I wish everyone connected with the club every success in the future. I'll be not making further public comment at this stage, but I reserve all legal rights available to me in relation to any false or defamatory allegations. Let's talk to Dan Lawless from West Ham TV. Dan, how are you? Thanks for coming on.
How's it going, guys? Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. I'm still in shock, to be honest with you. I was not expecting that today and Saturday afternoon. So, but yeah, not bad.
Yeah, so obviously, look, we don't want to get sued for libel, and we don't really want to talk about the allegations. I want to talk about how he and Karen Brady have run the club. I know she left earlier, and actually them leaving. As a fan, taking the allegations aside, as a football fan, as a West Ham fan, how do you feel that he is not in charge of your club now?
Yeah, I mean, it's great news. It's the news that we've been dreaming of for so long. You know, better part of 10 years. You know, we've been waiting for this day. Now, it's not a complete, gone. He's still got his shares in the club. He's still a equal or majority shareholder with Daniel Kretinsky, but he stepped down as the chairman, as director of WH Holdings and West Ham United Football Club, which is a big step forward. It is huge. We wanted Brady out as well. She went. Now Sullivan. It's a step forward to getting what we've wanted. So he's no longer in charge of the club. He's no longer meddling with transfers like he has season after season. He is going to have nothing to do with the operations of the club, and he has run this club absolutely shambolically year after year, and it is why we're in the mess we're in, because of how he's run the club, and the fact that he's been removed from any involvement is a massive positive if you're a West Ham fan. So I could not be more happier.
Yeah, what I hear from West Ham fans is like sort of football has changed, right, in the last 20, 30 years, and how you have to run a club and recruitment has become much more professional. And you look at West Ham's recruitment especially, and how that has been done and how shambolically that's been done.
Yeah.
And that has been such a massive, that is one of the biggest reasons, probably the biggest reason why you are in the Championship next year.
Yeah, 100%. And one of the roles that they didn't write that he stepped down from was his role as director of football that he's made himself after we'd got rid of Tim Steidten and he took that over. He had interfered and meddled in transfers, the signing of players. He had his favoured agents that he would go to constantly. He would sort of pick players and just give them to managers. Big Sam confirmed that he would get presents where he would just go and find a player. He'd have his sons recommending players because they liked them on FIFA or Football Manager, and he would go and get players in that way. Yeah. And what it meant was we had a disjointed just transfer policy. We would have Moyes players, Sullivan players, Steidten players. If you own a football club, just because you own it doesn't mean you have an expertise in football. A lot of clubs have a structure and have football people involved. He has no background or qualification to be choosing players for this football team at all. So, yeah, that's big.
So what do you want now?
Yeah, what do fans want now? New owners?
Yeah.
You want to be sold? What is it next?
Well, this is what we're hoping, is that it is a step towards a sale. Like I said, it is such a sensitive thing to talk about, and there's so little we can say. But if you've got to go and deal with these sort of this situation, this legal battle, I mean, we know it's a long taxing situation, really, and a costly one. So what we'd hope is that he would want to put his full attention on that and sell his shares. That's what I'm hoping, a full sale. We've got Daniel Kretinsky, who's been up in his shares, to become joint equal ownership shareholder with Sullivan. So, look, he may look and push for a full takeover. I think with this going on, the value of those shares with us in the Championship and what's going on is probably worth a lot less. So we're hoping now that there's someone out there that is ready to strike while someone's at their weakest. When you're going to do a takeover of a business, you want to take them when they're at their weakest, when their shares are worth less. So I'm hoping it means we get the takeover. I think we've been rumoured and linked with Amanda Stevely, who went in and helped facilitate Newcastle. Yeah. So if she can see and smell blood and go, yes, now it's right. Now I'm going to go in and get the best value and get those shares. I think there's never been a better time for us to get a takeover. He's never been more vulnerable. So,
and I suppose it's a tricky. Sorry, Dan. It's a tricky. The timing is tricky, but because you don't know who's going to leave, right? Lots of your players will leave. Your best players will probably leave. Who you're going to stay? What your rebuild is for the Championship? Are the people that are now,
in charge, do you have faith that they will be able to do that job? Because, you know, someone buying the club is fine, but it's not going to happen the next month or two, is it? Right. So, like, are you confident now, or more confident that people in charge will be able to do that transition?
Yeah, I'm more confident in terms of the people that are there. So at the moment, Nuno is going to be the de facto sort of transfer chief when it comes to picking players and things like that. We've been rumoured with a director of football coming in that I heard was imminent. It's not happened yet. So at the moment, it seems to be Nuno and maybe the current board that are left that he'll have to answer to. So I'm more confident that they can now do it without any interference. It's just going to be now of a case of the funds. We have to raise around £150 million to, you know, deal with the debts that we've got before we can start to look to buy players. Now, I did a show yesterday and we was talking about the potential of forcing Kretinsky and Sullivan to actually dip their hand in their pockets, because if they invest their own money, it would alleviate a lot of that financial burden that we've got to deal with. Obviously, that's not going to happen on Sullivan's end now. I'll be interested to see if Kretinsky is now going to put his hand in his pocket, because he's always been reluctant to do it if Sullivan wouldn't do it, you know, because they're joint chairman. It's like, well, I'm not going to invest if you're not going to invest. Mm-hmm. So that is a big question of what's going to happen to us on a financial level. That's the sort of concern, because we are in a state of limbo. We had not just Karen Brady left, near enough all of our executives left with her, you know, just before the end of the season. So we are in this state of transition, this state of limbo, and we need to act quickly, start hiring the right people, and really go aggressive in this transfer window. Get the most money we can for the players we're selling, and try and get some good buys.
Thank you, Dan. Thanks for coming on, especially at short notice.
Thanks, guys.
Dan Lawless there from West Ham TV. It's Max and Charlie with you till 1. We'll do time difference next.
To be considered a big club, like the likes of Man City, Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea.
What, Man City's bigger than Arsenal?
Well, in Europe they are. They've won the competition.
Cool, they won the... But what are we saying? Are we talking about trophies, or are we talking about...
I'm talking about dining at the top table with all the big heads that have won it. Do you think you need...
What, so we're only basing this on Europe? So if you win the European Cup, that means you're a big club?
In Europe.
Well, are we not going off all the trophies that we've won?
We haven't won that many.
We've won Arsenal? Are you joking?
Well, okay, take FA Cups out of it.
No, forget FA Cups. Leagues.
You can include it.
We've won more Premier Leagues than Liverpool.
I know, but I'm just saying, my question is, do you think you need to win Europe's biggest competition to be considered a big club?
No, because I think we are one of the biggest clubs in the world anyway. And that'll just be a cherry on top.
We are. I don't think you're in the top 10.
You idiots. Are you talking about your local pub, or are you talking about the world?
You're certainly not.
Hello, I'm Matt Fordham from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
go live to not the seat next to Charlie, wherever. Let's go live to wherever Jeff Peters is. It's either Cancun
Leicester
or
Forest
Leicester
East, normally, yeah.
Who knows? Because there's always time for time difference. And here's your host, Jeff Peters. Jeff, hello.
Hello, Jeff.
A very good afternoon to you, boys. So Max won the last contest between you two at the start of last month or a few weeks ago, but Charlie leads 9-8 this year. So there's 5 goals, and you two have to guess which minute they were scored. And obviously we're going to rattle through these. So we're going to start with Max, and the first goal is from the Arsenal-PSG game, Dembele's second half equaliser. When did that goal go in, Max?
When did he equalise? It was 62.
Charlie?
64th minute.
Let's hear how that goal went in.
Can he conjure it up? No, he can't. It's driven in past him into the bottom left-hand corner. Ousmane Dembele with the equalising goal.
And that went in the both very close, 65th minute. So it's Max 3, Charlie 1. Charlie leads by 2. Lowest score wins. Charlie to go first on goal number 2.
Jeff, we got 4 minutes. We don't want to. If we've got a minute left at the end of the show, what
Jeff's got to get to the beach.
We'll have nothing to talk about.
Second goal, Crystal Palace beating Rayo Vallecano in the Conference League final. When did Mateta score his goal for Crystal Palace, Charlie?
Oh,
when did he score that?
When did he score that? Mateta. Then he went and kicked the corner flag.
That isn't a minute.
I know. I'm trying to think when he scored it. I watched it, watched the game, enjoyed it.
Yeah, good for you. Well done.
Lots of Crystal Palace fans. I like them. They're nice, good team to support. And I think, what was the score at half time? Was it 1-0 at half time?
What was the score at half time? Was it 1-0 or 0-0?
That's the problem, isn't it?
That is the problem.
Come on, Wafflers, get on with it.
63rd minute.
I think that's pretty good. 58.
Let's hear how that goal went in.
Hurried into the pop of JP Mateta, who scores the opening goal of the Conference League final, and the Eagles have landed the first blow.
That goal went in the 51st minute. Max 7 out, Charlie 12 out, so it's Max 10, Charlie 13. Max is in the lead. Max to go first on goal number 3, which is Salford 0, Notts County 3. When did Jatta in the League 2 playoff final score the opening goal for Notts County?
The opening goal for Notts County.
They thrashed Salford.
12th minute.
Charlie?
I think it was quite a lot later than that. The 25th minute.
Let's hear how that goal went in.
Well, here's Jatta in behind for a moment, and he's given County the lead.
Sounds early.
Yeah, well, it was actually the 32nd minute. So Max 20 out, Charlie 7 out on that. So it's Max 30, Charlie 20. Charlie leads by 10 with 2 to go. Charlie to go first on goal number 4, which is Liverpool 1, Brentford 1 in the Premier League. Jones scoring for Liverpool. Mo Salah's last ever assist at Anfield, it says here.
When was this?
So, this was a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, a couple of weeks ago.
I don't remember the Premier League. Who won the Premier League? I can't remember.
No idea. No idea. We must have talked about it. talkSPORT must have done a phone-in or something. I don't know.
Is it me or is you?
It's you, Charlie.
No, it's me. Oh, sorry about that. Many apologies. What? Curtis Jones.
When did Curtis Jones score for Liverpool against Brentford?
No one knows this.
Nobody. Not
even Curtis
Jones knows this.
38th minute.
I think I'm going to coattails and then.
You got 10 to play with.
35th.
Let's hear how that goal went in.
But he's had to be driven out wide to collect it. Now he's got it. Dead ball line across the face of goal. And there's Curtis Jones to tuck it away. And Liverpool lead at Anfield.
The majestic Ian Danter there. That went in the 58th minute. So Max 23 out, Charlie 20 out. So Charlie extends his lead. He's on 40. Max is on 53. So 13 is the gap we want to go.
Okay. 13.
Charlie has to go first because he's in the lead. Brighton 0, Manchester United 3, final day of the Premier League season. Bruno Fernandes, or for the hipsters, Bruno Fernandes.
Oh yeah.
In his native language.
All the Portuguese. They're not
when
all
did? When did?
They're all wearing driving.
Some people get very militant about these things. So Fernandes/Fernandes. When did he score for Manchester United?
Bruno Fernandes
Brighton
scored in the 39th minute.
Okay, so you say the 39th minute, and what say you,
Max
Rushden? You say 53rd minute. Let's hear how that goal went in.
It's 3-0 anyway.
Oh, it's the last goal.
Absolutely no chance of Brighton getting a result here.
What a fool.
Because the captain, Bruno Fernandes,
Gave it away.
has silenced the Amex fans.
Silent them.
So it went in the 48th minute. So Max 5 out, Charlie 9 out. So Charlie wins. He's on 49, Max on 58.
What a
and
player.
it's 10-8 to Charlie this year in time
What
difference.
a player. Thanks, Jeff. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Jeff.
Cheers, boys.
Thanks,
Take
Charlie.
care.
Me and Barry back tomorrow. Ollie Klink and Mickey Gray are next. Have a wonderful day.
I remember going back a couple of years when he was linked with a move to Real Madrid, and Bournemouth fell off a cliff after that because he seemed to be sort of wavered by what happened with the attention that came his way when the big boys came calling. So he's got a almost mature